Oh no, no, no. Yeah, I do
But
see.
yeah, we are live now. Because sometimes people will be like, oh man, I didn't want to say that. I don't want people to know this. And, that's
I
always
don't know
good
how I
just to
feel
ask.
about stuff like that. Like if you're walking around your whole life checking yourself, that must be a daunting life to
To,
live.
to a degree, I
I
do. I
understand to a
agree with
point.
that. But on the other hand, I'm somewhat of a private person. I don't like all. Like there will be things that I'll talk to people about, like my friends and stuff off air, like about what's going on with my personal life and stuff like that, that I don't necessarily think that everybody else should know. And it's
True.
not anything bad. It's just I don't know. I like
Oh,
privacy.
I'm actually the same way. Like very few people even know like anything about me personally, unless a few of you guys do. But very few. Like people don't know that I'm married. People don't know that I was a teacher. People don't know I have a daughter. I just don't talk about myself, and I really don't share it because I don't know. There's something's got to be private, right?
Yeah, and there's nothing wrong with that, but that's just how I am. I don't like discussing certain things just out of, and like I said, they're not even bad things. It's just, you know.
But even a lot of the time, I'm just not the type of guy who just likes to talk or complain. Some people call it complaining. Like I'm like,
Oh
yeah, I
yeah.
got something going on. Like even right now, my wife's car's in the shop again, and I'm really pissed off about it. But you know what I mean? I'm a man. Like, what am I supposed to do? I just keep going, right? Pay the fucking bill and just keep trucking along. Like,
Yeah, I mean, and we all have those struggles
well,
going
yeah,
on.
yeah, exactly.
Like I've had some issues going on with my wife lately, and we've been going to the doctor about that, and things seem to be getting better, thankfully. But yeah, everybody's got fucking shit going on, man.
Yeah.
If we
I
all
also,
started talking about how terrible our lives would, holy shit, I don't think anybody would be getting online anymore. Because it'd just be so fucking depressing.
it already kind of is depressing, but yeah, I feel you.
But even more so, because, like, even these people that you think that, like, have these great lives and stuff are actually fucking miserable and shit. That would be quite the shock to the system.
Yeah, a lot of people don't understand that projection goes that way too. Like if somebody's constantly showing you how beautiful their life is, they're compensating for something.
Yeah.
Normal people just don't think like that.
A lot of
Normal people.
normal people don't. That. Well, like I think I saw somebody on Twitter at one point was like asking the difference, like what's the difference between confidence and arrogance?
Ooh, very thin line. that's for sure.
Well,
It's thin.
it's not too thin because, well, at least for me, is arrogance shows, confidence knows. Like confidence is just me knowing, people like my comic
Confidence is
book.
experience. I think you have a lot of confidence if you have experience, in my opinion.
Well,
So my confidence comes from my experience.
I, but I don't think somebody's confident if they constantly have to point out what they're doing, though. You know
Oh,
that
that they're a
that
badass. Oh
that,
yeah, yeah,
that that's
yeah.
what I mean when I say that arrogance shows and confidence knows. Confidence is when you know you're a badass. You don't have to have anybody tell you that, and you don't have to have any validation either. You just fucking know, so you just roll with it. And arrogance is, like some of these people where they have to constantly point out how much money they've made or whatever because they're not confident. They're constantly seeking validation. Confident people don't seek out validation. Arrogant people do though.
Yeah, that's true. Shit, man. Like you make a really good point. We were talking about this a while ago about like I asked you. Shit, I'll just say it. I asked you, is like, do I like, am I a badass? Do you think I'm a rebel? And you're like, dude, or do you think you are? And I'm like, yeah. And it's like that's all that fucking matters, man.
Yeah.
And like it stuck with me. It stuck with me. You know what I mean? Like,
I mean, you're
if
the only
if I'm gonna be a
opinion that you
rebel,
should
I should just
value.
do right. I should just do rebel shit. I shouldn't be trying to validate my rebelness. I think I should just be the independent rebel that I feel like I want to be and I feel like I am,
Yeah, and I don't
and
and
act
I,
accordingly.
and I don't mean to put yourself in an echo chamber either by like,
No, it's all
don't listen to
yeah.
anybody else. Yeah, don't listen to anybody else unless maybe they're close to you and you feel like, they do have a point. But don't listen to just average people. Fuck average people. They don't even know you, dude. Like, who fucking cares what they think?
Yeah, exactly. I think
You didn't even know they existed until like 2 minutes ago. So
right until they wanted to jump on your comment section and
who gives a shit?
come on there with their and it's like, and then if I say like, yo, I got experience in this, I know what I'm fucking talking about, then they'll flip it, and then all of a sudden I'm the arrogant asshole. You see what I mean? Like you can't argue with these people. So
I just
the best thing, you can just go away. You can just ignore it as best as possible. I don't know. That's my opinion.
I mock them until I get bored, and then I just fucking ignore it. Like I did earlier today.
What
Fucking
happened today?
I don't know. Somebody else had EVS out of nowhere. I guess in line with his late books. He decides to finally reply to some fucking comment I made on somebody's tweet from like fucking over 2 weeks ago. Late
Yeah, okay,
books,
I saw
late
that.
tweet replies too.
Yep.
I don't know. I don't know what bugs up his butt, but I guess I'm not a success because I don't believe in like circle jerks and sucking dick and shit like that. So I don't know. I'm pretty sure that if what I'm doing is making somebody like him mad, I'm on the right path.
Yeah.
So I'm not even looking at it as a negative thing. I'm like, oh, he's gonna get his simps to not buy my book that they were already not buying. Oh no, what am I gonna do? Like,
Right.
I do. You
I
don't.
get people all the time coming in my DMs who are like, "Hey man, you really shouldn't say that thing about, that certain community." And I'm like, "Dude, they didn't buy my book in the first place. They're not gonna buy my shit now. I don't care.
Well,
Look at my screen. Two
there's
middle fingers up with that. I'm not gonna play your game just to fit in.
there's
Like if you,
people within
yeah,
CG who do buy my book and support my book. In fact, the main villain of the book right now, Sven, is actually based on Timothy Barnes. Um, and he's a hardcore CG guy, man. Like, he's paid for tiers to be in a lot of the books. I think he's in fucking Ethan's Cyberfrog book at one point. He's one of the faces that he threw in there. He's in Nasser's book, and he's a fucking main villain in my book because this dude has supported me since day one, and he's been an awesome guy. And even though he knows that we disagree on the whole CG thing, he still sees past that, and we're still friends.
yeah.
And
I mean, I agree with you. I'm still friends with a lot of people and I just
so,
did something for somebody that
I,
I just went into. I had a conversation with Ethan. We're still having it because I haven't got verification, but I asked for permission for somebody to use, you know, this. I created that stamp. You know what I mean? I went in and like. So
see,
Ethan ignored him because he's nobody, right? He's
yeah,
coming up. So I went in there and I was like, dude, would it be okay if this guy uses it? He's fond of you. He respects CG. He wants to know it's okay for him to use it. And he goes, okay, which issue? Who is this guy? So I told him about Dave in the comic, and I showed him who it was. And then a couple days later, he didn't respond. So I'm like, hey, man, is it okay if he uses it? Like, I'm not going to stop bothering you until you give me a green light. So, like, I'm about to send him another message. It's because I know it means a lot to Dave, but I work on CG projects. I'm not against CG. We can agree to disagree. But if you go over to a boiling point with it, I cannot work with you. I don't think there's any. You know what I mean? Like if you're extreme on either side, I'm just not in the mood with you. So we can get along,
yeah.
but we don't have to agree.
And I'm
But
not even like super anti or whatever. It's not like you can look at my Twitter. I don't run around like chastising people all the time. But every once in a while, I throw my little quips out there. I'll admit. But
I take jabs too.
but if you read anything that I say, it always says I'm just pro individual, man. I just want to try to move more people into doing their own thing because, like, I started laughing because like this shenanigans with the trademark. You got to ask a guy for permission to put a hashtag. He
I
didn't
told
even fucking make the goddamn thing, by the way. I was in CG before EVS ever was. Like,
I
granted,
told
like
Dave to
I was
use
one
it
of the morons
regardless.
who was like cheering him on when he came on board, and I was like, "Oh yeah, this makes us legit," and yada yada yada. Granted,
Yeah,
fell for that trap. Fuck, my wife's in the
I don't blame
IMCG
you.
video.
I don't. Dude. There's a video on my channel right
but
now
but
that
that's
says I was wrong about Comicsgate,
yeah.
and
But
I
the
want to
thing
retract
is,
everything I said on that video, but I'm keeping it up as a reminder that I jumped the shark with that shit real quick, bro. I
but
got
that's
in
the
there
sad thing. Is because like I know
and smelt the
I've
fart.
talked to Dave. I don't want to say I know him very well, but I've talked to Dave, and he seems like a really nice, genuine guy.
He is
And
very
it's
much.
and it's honestly sad that he's kind of getting mixed up in that kind of fucking shenanigans, honestly, because like there's a
I just
lot
think he
better
goes with
people he could be trying to appeal to that are actually being a success in indie comics. And I'm not talking about myself either. I mean,
mm-hmm.
you could be looking up to people like fucking Tim Lim and Mark Pellegrini with their Common America books, which they are doing like fucking fantastic. I mean, they're even the mascot of the fucking, was it the Bell City Comic Con or whatever? Holy shit, dude. Like, these dudes are taking enormous strides as far as, like, fucking independent comics go. But, everybody wants to,
True
like,
independent.
worship EVS and his late fucking frog books for whatever reason. I don't get it. Like, I
I
don't know.
get it. Look, what I don't get is the fact that you can clearly see that he is not a nice person. I'm sorry if you disagree with me, but if you agree with his tactics and the way he treats people,
That's what I mean. Like,
um, it's like, yeah, okay, he did the Green Lantern shit. Okay, he's
I'm
talented,
gonna help the
but
community by
why are you gonna help a
cannibalizing
guy?
and attacking the community.
Yeah, because you yourself want to be like him, or you yourself are like him. Those are the only, like, psychology tells me that you guys flock together. It's like magnets.
Yeah.
So if you're okay with EVS, you're okay with everything he says and how he treats people, and he'll make fun of you, but don't you dare make fun of his daughter, or all these hypocritical things, or the fact that he's on record saying he's a narcissist. Um, if you still want, I can't look. Those aren't my people anyway. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm never
I
going to
I like good
separate them.
people.
Yeah.
I try to judge people on an individual basis because I like being an individual myself. That's why I don't like the hashtags and stuff. I I don't want to feel reliant on somebody else for my own success because even with the CG thing, I don't know if you were paying attention at the time, but like he took away Nasser's fucking money and shit on his campaigns with the snap of his fingers.
Mm-hmm.
Like Nasser went from doing really well to all of a sudden he's out. He's not making it. I don't want to be in a position where some other person, I don't care who it is. I don't care if it's God himself. I don't want some other person to be able to decide for me directly like that. Like that's not fucking cool. That
It's
that's
not cool.
that's
It's not
not
independent.
that's not
And
really
how is it?
success either if it's just something
No.
you're allowed to have. Like you're that if you're allowed to have it, it means it can be taken away. And if it can be taken away, did you really earn anything? Or was it
No.
just given to you? Like I don't get
It was
that,
on
man.
it was on retainer, and they're taking it away from you now because they don't like who you are.
And
But
that's
what I don't understand is how this doesn't rub people the wrong way. How the hell, as an independent community, are we not like banning against this type of
and
behavior?
I'm all for like helping other creators and I got a track record to fucking prove that, man. Like I don't run around fucking shitting on people. I don't have a need for that. I'd much rather just like run around telling everybody like I'm going to right now that Doug still has copies available of Psychotron on his Indiegogo. Get him while you can. He's only got a few left.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like I would much rather do that. Like I've always said since day one that a rising tide raises all boats. I've always been a proponent of, working together, that communist hippie bullshit. At least as far as comics go, I'm kind of into that. I like the community. I like growing with cool people, but I don't know. These guys, they come in and it just turned it into fucking WWE versus Raw or something, you know? Like, it's just a bunch of fucking gay guys dressed up weird yelling at each other about complete and utter fucking nonsense, man. Like,
Calling each other fat while they themselves are fat, calling each
yeah,
other hypocrites while they themselves are
you're a
hypocrites.
cuck, and then it turns out, you know, oh.
They're actually a cook.
like, I'm not casting
It's
stones.
super projection, is
I,
what it is, and
I,
it's horrible.
I don't care what anybody does. Like, I'm not gonna cast stones. I'm not gonna be like, oh yeah, you know, you like to do this, you know, shame on you. And like, no, I don't care. That like I remember having an argument with somebody one time and they got really fucking heated too because like this guy was going on about like Preston Poulter in indie comics, and you know he had a sex tape out or whatever, and he's in comics. And I'm like, well, what the hell does this guy's sexuality have to do with fucking comic books? And I just kept asking that question. I'm like, but what does this have to do with comic books? And he just couldn't figure it out. And I'm like, dude, well, why are we talking about everything but comic books? Like, I don't. That's what I
Exactly, and
really
now
didn't get
it's not
about it.
comics anymore. It's left versus right. If you even sound like you're a lefty because you're trying to be like, hey, it doesn't even matter. Like, oh, leftists trying to put their agenda on us, making us okay with whatever it is. When you're really doing is critically thinking about how that doesn't matter
And
at all.
they're like, oh
One bit.
shit, this dude doesn't want to be in the cult. He must be one of them SJWs. I'm like, no, I hate
Yes.
those guys too. Like
Right. You're not. Are you paying attention?
I'm
That's what
an
I tell people.
equal
Like,
opportunity hater, man. Like,
right. This is for everybody. like,
there's enough to go around.
right. I grew up in a melting pot. Like, I could, I was being made fun of by the Asians one day, then I was made fun of by the blacks one day. Like, look, nobody's singling anybody out here. like, we're just trying to I don't know. But more and more, I encourage people to separate themselves from it and just build
Yeah,
themselves,
that's the
build on
best
what
thing.
they
That's
want
the
to.
best
Yeah.
advice. Like, don't even do streams like I'm doing right now. Like,
well, I
we're
mean,
just
this is
kind
a little
of
different. We're here,
venting in a way. I'm not trying to encourage any fucking
but we're
nonsense
also
or anything, but I do want to talk about some aspects because more folks need to talk about like being an individual, being a free thinker, like going your own path, man. Like this is fucking indie shit we're talking about, whether it's indie film or comics or music or whatever. You could go in any fucking direction you want to.
hmm
Any fucking find your direction, please. Find your
yeah,
own
and
path,
link with
man.
other. Not only that, but I encourage you while you're on your path to support others doing the same as you because it's a hard path. And you know what I mean? Like if you can find somebody that is like-minded and they're doing the same thing as you are, I encourage you to encourage them. Support those people as well. Also, don't do any venting and complaining unless you're actively trying to do something about it. That's my opinion about that stuff. So I'm doing that. You're doing that. A bunch of our friends are doing that. So it's like we're not complaining about something we don't care about, but we're also trying to do our best to change it and make it different, at least for our surrounding people. You know what I mean? There's a difference between venting and bitching. You know what I'm saying? We're not
Yeah.
bitching, we're venting. Yeah. We're trying to make a change, but these are some things that people don't want to bring up. They don't want to talk about.
Hold on. I'm sorry. I'm also trying to figure out this. I'm trying to get to where the comments show on here, but I am listening to what you're saying. But yeah,
Oh,
like
no worries.
I don't know. People just need to they just need to worry about themselves, man, honestly. There it goes. Hey, we can see comments now. That's pretty cool.
And also, I don't waste my time sniffing up trees that aren't going to bear any fruit.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean by that? Like, I am not. Why would I throw my support for EVS when he obviously will never show me that same respect? I'm not a fanboy that way. For me personally, I think a lot of people are wasting their times on people that wouldn't piss on them to put them out of a fire. You know, And I say that time could be spent on people who will appreciate it, who will support you back and help you grow as a person and even become your friend. But you're too busy kissing someone's butt who will never appreciate it.
Yeah,
You
but
gotta stop doing that. You just got to. Your energy could be spent somewhere else,
the
so much
only
more
ass
productively.
you should be kissing is your customer's ass.
Yep, bingo.
For
And I go through
reals.
great lengths, right, for my guys when I make their logos, man. I do my damnedest to give them exactly what they want. Because
Okay.
they're important to me, and that's why I went out of, that's why I went out of left field and approached Ethan on Dave's behalf because I know how much it means to Dave if he can get his approval. See, I separated how I feel about something to do something good for my friend because I can do that. It's a magical power. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't even mean or anything. I just said, hey, is it cool? Like I know you don't know who the fuck I am, but here you
Well,
go.
while everybody was busy like fighting and stuff like that about nonsense, I was working with my friends and like Doug's getting ready to come out with issue 2 of Psychotron on top of Lone Wolf 2, but before that, like so far he's released Lone Wolf and he's also put together a huge anthology book that was actually pretty cool. And then I'm hanging out with Larry Holder. He's already put out 2 issues of his series, Primal Chaos, and he's got issue 1 of From Time and Space out already, and he's about to have issue 2 of that done. Like, I'm hanging out with people who are actually getting stuff done. But meanwhile, like all these weirdos on YouTube just, I don't know. I don't understand why people support that.
I, I'm right there with you. And another thing I
I'm
don't
just
think
at a
that,
complete loss.
dude, their shows, although they have really cool, interesting people on sometimes, I think their shows are boring. They're formulaic. They're like, so tell me about it's just, I don't want to be like in a bitch mode, but I can just like, it just makes me cringe. Some of them have personalities of wet toilet paper. Some of them are over the top and it shows that they're trying really hard.
That's why I
And it's
like
like,
doing my streams. Like I kind of believe and stuff like that. Like it ain't always got to be about comic books, but it does need to be, kind of fun. And you know, there's a wealth of things you can do, but running in circles and bitching about the same Star Wars movie for
but
6
you're going on,
years is a sign of
right?
mental illness, in my opinion.
And like, here's a real, like, here's what you start telling people about things that you don't like instead of like giving your like full on opinion. People go, "What do you think of the new Star Wars movie?" You should say, "I don't," and then you move on. Like, I don't think of it. Like, what do you think of the Last Jedi? I don't think of the Last Jedi.
Oh
Anyway,
yeah.
but they go on these shows and they say and repeat the same shit, and then the people that were on the other show go from that show onto that show into their comment section and say and repeat the same shit, and then they go on the other guy's show and they say and repeat the same shit. There's no like, oh Jesus, I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. It's cringy. It's absolutely cringy, and people can call me cringy all you want, but at least when you get my cringe, it's genuine cringe, and it's not this fake ass shit of like, and there's a reason, like, I don't know, man. I just don't get it either. I really don't.
I don't.
Maybe that's why I'm not on their shows. And you know what I've been
That's all
told?
right though,
I
man.
I
Like
can't get on anybody's show unless I go into their streams and kiss their ass for a little while, and then they'll invite you on. Like, oh, I'm not playing your game. I just want to be, I just want to have a conversation. But if I have to kiss your ass to talk to you, we're not going to be friends anyway. See you bye. Like, it's just not going to work.
yeah, and like we got K Blonde in the chat. He's a pretty cool guy, and he's one of my friend creators. And we've had disagreements. Doug and I have had disagreements. We've all had disagreements with one another, but I think the difference is like when we see the other person doing something that we might think is counterproductive, so to speak. Like it's actually, for one, constructive criticism, and two, usually it's in private. It's like, hey, bro, what's going on, man? Like, we're not like streaming about it, like airing everybody's dirty fucking laundry. Like, that's some womanly bullshit, too. Like, can we be honest about that?
It's
Like,
13-year-old cafeteria drama bullshit.
That's some
We're
womanly
supposed to be
kind of
above that.
shit, man.
It is. It's a little feminine. I'm like, I mean,
Why can't they be
it.
like men and talking about like Argartha and the ice wall and fucking UFOs and shit like us? Like,
Yeah.
it's gotta be this
Uh,
gay fucking gossip shit. Who cares? I
I
don't care.
I respect and appreciate a strong difference of opinion with somebody who has a moral backbone who can like let bygones be bygones. Um, but yeah, for the I don't know. You come
Oh,
on my show. You
did
come
you
on my
see
show.
the
We're gonna.
thing where I guess like everybody got like mad and upset because like I called somebody out for because they were saying that, books that are like made before the campaign are like pre-funded by the wealthy, and I was like, "Hey, now.
What did they say?
Yeah, they said that like comics that are like finished before the campaign are pre-made by the wealthy, and they were trying to be like, "Yeah, we should, be more back more and allow them to like raise money to actually pay for it to get done." I'm like, "What?" I'm like, and it was just
What's the difference?
the idea about it was like the books that are made before the campaign, like finished book, like Otis, like beyond lettering. The book was done, all the art and everything. I had all the covers in. That was done. Apparently, like I have to be rich to have done that, and I'm like, no, you can do it on a budget. But it's just so weird because like they're like, well, we're just trying to help the community, and it's kind of like the government is trying to help you in a way, weird kind of way. It kind of pans out the same way if you really think
I don't
about
get
it.
their
Like,
logic.
we're only here to help. Like, no, you're not. You're here to fuck
So
everything
you,
up. But the thing is they're
how does
like,
that help other people though? I don't get
it
that.
really
So you're
doesn't because
smart enough
like,
and reserve enough
if you look
to
at
get
it,
your shit finished before you put it on sale, and they're gonna penalize you for it
yeah.
for being smart and thinking ahead of time. I'm willing to bet that the percentage of people who do it your way or have a finished book before they go in, I bet you their fulfillment is faster on time, and I bet you it's happened more. Like the percentages are crazy
Well, I
that
will
way.
tell you that you were kind of wrong there
Oh, are you serious? Oh shit. Okay,
because
go ahead.
I am delayed. I'm currently working on shipping out. I'm waiting on one more batch of copies to come in, the numbered copies that are only 100 print run. But I'm waiting for those to come in. But I'm in the process of fulfilling now. But I did have delays, man. Shit happens. I'm not gonna fault anybody for shit happening.
Yeah,
Cause
I understand.
like when my shit was going down, there was that paper shortage going down last year. Which thankfully it actually worked out in my favor, honestly, and I think the backers agree because like having that delay made me sit on my lettering, and I ended up like being like that just looked terrible, so I redid it, and I think it looks a lot better now and everything. So there were good things that come out of it, but the good thing is, it's like yeah, we do need to encourage people to have their shit done before they because how many campaigns have we seen where like this guy just has this idea for a comic and he gets an artist and apparently I guess maybe he doesn't know how to do math. I don't know what happens. But suddenly he gets all this money and it just poof disappears and there's no book and you're like,
What I don't get is
"Wow, where
how the fuck do they get people to raise money? Because I had a partly finished comic book before it got switched
like
into a film,
one of
and I
the
couldn't get $1, bro. I
one of
couldn't get
these
anybody
guys
to
legit
finish it.
got like 40 fucking grand and there has
Oh
been
my
no
god!
book.
I heard, but
All the
I've heard
money
those
is
stories
gone.
too. You know the ones that bother me are the ones that I've been in conversations with some of these people where these people are still in the community. They're
Yeah.
still making books and people are still backing them. How is that possible? But I'm ostracized in the community and I haven't done a damn thing wrong to anybody. But you can screw them over and they'll still like. Do you see why I don't want to join their little club? Like I
It's a
can't. I can't.
cult.
I can't because it makes no sense. You guys are like all drunk and making drunk decisions. It sounds like it just doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't make any sense. But yeah, yeah, those books never come out. They're still In fact, some people are actually going out of their way to like stand up for some of these people still, and I'm like, really?
Yeah, yeah.
This
That
dude
just
just ran
baffles my
off with
mind.
like enough money to buy a fucking Tesla. Like, come on now, like what the fuck? Like,
Jeez, can you imagine being somebody like that who can like validate that? That's what makes me think a lot of people are
I
trolling
mean,
and we're just unaware of it. Like that's got to be a troll.
people can say what they want about my book being late and all that, but I got the books right fucking here. I'm working on getting them together to ship out and stuff, so I got my bases covered, and I've been completely transparent with all my backers too. That's another thing that's important. It's like a lot of
Agreed.
these guys will go their back. Speaking of which, I got to put up a fucking update on my Kickstarter today. That's one of my plans. Uh, but yeah, you just let people know what's going on. But none of them do that because there's no end goal. There's no real plan. I mean, they have an idea for a book, yeah, but they don't know how to implement that idea at all because they don't know what really goes into making a comic book. They don't
And how in
understand
the hell
that
are they
some
getting people
artists
to back them?
they don't understand that some artists only do fucking pencils and inks, and then they also have and then the artist doesn't do colors, so they also have to get a colorist, and then they also have to get a letterist, and then they got to get an editor, and then they can realize they have to pay for fonts and blah blah blah, all kinds of fucking shit, man. And I don't want to encourage people to go in blind. I think that's unhealthy.
No, I did, and I learned a lesson.
I think that
Thousands of dollars later.
I think that disparages people from like I think it's healthier to just be like, hey, maybe just have your stuff done first, so that way people, because your first book, it doesn't have to be a blockbuster. It just needs to be something that exists. That's all it needs to be. And
Exactly.
some of these guys get this idea like, their first fucking thing is going to be like this blockbuster. They're going to get the best artist in the world and yada yada yada. I'm like, no, 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 no. Y'all need to think a lot smaller. Think within your fucking financial budget for one. Holy shit. It's like these movies where they hire like Will Smith to be Deadshot and then they wonder why they can't get him back to play Deadshot. Like, I don't know, maybe because it's fucking Will Smith and he's one of the most sought after fucking actors. Well, not anymore, but you know,
Yeah.
at least at one point in time, it's like, and you see movie studios and shit like that fall into that fucking trap all the time, where they're like, oh yeah, let's put this fucking A-lister in this part, and you're like, yeah, but how are we going to get them back for the next one? And then they
They're
just
gonna either want more money, they're gonna want something,
Yeah, it's going to be really fucking hard and really fucking costly. That's why I like a lot of these movies. That's the one thing I gave like CW some kind of credit for is I like the actors that they ended up putting in the roles of like the Flash and stuff like that. They were kind of
Really?
no-name people and stuff like that.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay. I get that part
and
of it,
new
but I mean,
faces, and I was able to grow with them. Yeah, the series fucking sucks now, but it did start off pretty cool. I'm not gonna
I
lie.
won't
I
lie.
think those first couple seasons.
I was digging it. The first couple seasons of Flash, no doubt, I was.
But
But
yeah, then
I
it got
can't tell you
retarded.
when. I can't tell you when, but there was a moment where I was like, I don't want to watch this anymore. Like,
Yeah,
I don't like that. Like something happened. I don't know what it was. I can't tell you, but there was a nexus point for me where I was like, uh oh, this isn't good
but
anymore.
yeah, it's like that, and that's what you need. And like I keep telling people, like find an artist and people who are going to grow with you. Like, don't find somebody who's going to be harder to get later on down the line who probably has other projects beyond just yours. So, that's also another thing. Think about delays and stuff like that in Murphy's Law. If I have delays on shipping my book and my book was like ready to print, you know, if I'm having delays, imagine the kind of shit you're going to endure if you don't even have a book yet.
No, exactly. This is things you should be thinking about before you even jump in there. Take anybody's money away.
And some people are like, oh, it costs too much. Well, you know what? Dreams cost a lot of fucking money. I'm
If you
sorry, but
can't,
they
like,
do.
yeah,
I sold fucking plasma to fund my first book. Legit. I got the fucking plasma card in my wallet somewhere to prove it. I don't care. Like, So I saved lives and took money for my bodily fluids.
I haven't done that, but I have
For
sold some stuff to help pay my cast and crew for short
the
films and stuff.
plasma thing is really cool. I do encourage people to do that because
I
it does
like my plasma.
it does save lives. So plasma is just a fluid between your blood cells. It comes back really quickly. It's not a
Mm.
big deal, but they actually use it for a lot of things. It helps them make vaccines and everything like that. And I'm
Cool.
not talking about the fake vaccines either. I'm talking about other stuff. But it does. Oh, I guess he's. Oh, I didn't know. I didn't hear the
I've
thing.
been sitting here for a long time, sending you messages like, "Hey, poophead, let me in."
Hey, Doug.
What's going on? Oh,
Sorry.
I seen a picture on Twitter of somebody with their sunglasses and their dyed black beard, so I had to put my sunglasses on before I come in.
Let's see if I can't put my. There we go. I'll put the chat down there next to you, Doug. All right,
Oh
cool deal.
boy,
You'll be the chat master.
I'm the chat master.
Yeah, sorry about that. I'm running through the fucking.
Oh, it's all right, dude.
Well, I'm running through the Streamlabs, but
Extreme hard.
but I have the stream, but we're meeting up in StreamYard
Yeah, it
for
gets a
some
little
reason.
complicated when you start running like 3 or 4 things.
I think I'm getting the hang of it though. Like I got pretty good at it with like the gaming one where I'm able to like have Aubrey's screen share
Yeah,
on there along with mine. I don't know if people like that, but I do. They can suck a dick. They don't have to watch it.
yeah. You go
Yeah.
like some other dude be
So how you
smoking.
doing, Doug? What you been
I'm all
doing
right, man.
today? How
I'm all right.
how's the unsuccessful life?
It's great. I released an unsuccessful album this year and a comic book. I mean, it's going good.
Oh, hey, we lost Chris.
He left because I showed up.
Oh,
I just said that. I don't think it's true.
I don't think
Probably some
so
kind of
either. He may have had
technical
issues. I
difficulty.
know he's on a tablet, so it may have died on him. I see
Yeah.
your messages now, but I wasn't paying attention. My
It's
bad.
all right. You guys were talking.
But
It's
yeah,
okay.
I wasn't trying to. What in the world? There we go.
Oh, now I moved up one on the list.
Sorry, my
Yeah.
audio cut out when he
Okay.
joined,
Like
so I
when,
just restarted.
yeah, like right before you dropped out, like my screen flashed black. I thought something weird was going
Man, now I know why you guys were yelling at me this whole time. Like I had my volume cranked up so much in these headphones. I'm like, man, I'm starting to get ahead. Why are these guys yelling, man?
I just like to yell anyway.
Well,
So
I was working on Otis issue 4. Well, I can't find the damn book now. But I was working on issue 4 last night. How, instead of doing a script, I just draw the book. So
yeah,
I had these on and I was cranking out some tunes while I was drawing up I got the first 5 pages in of issue 4 so far.
hey, I got this in the mail yesterday. Was you there when I opened this?
Mm-mm.
Zombie Full Adventures, Eric Hawkins.
No, that looks cool, man. I
Yeah, it's
forgot
his
he's
new.
got that spin-off. I keep forgetting about it. I didn't back it. I was broke at the
Got
time.
the. I'm in space, so things are hard to see. But it's. I mean, I haven't read it yet because when I get it, by the time I get a new book, and this is not a slight at anybody because it's been like 3 years since Lone Wolf came out. By the time a new issue comes out, I've already forgot what happened, so I have to go back and read everything else. And even though this is a spinoff, I still want to go back and read everything else before I jump into it.
Oh, speaking of which, I found this like randomly.
I've still got like a stack of those.
This one's like, well, actually, it's two of them stuck together. I think, yeah, it looks like some coffee got spilled on it, but it should be okay.
My mom came down here and we were cleaning my house because it's just I've run 2 or 3 campaigns, and there's just stuff everywhere. Like, I learned something too. Don't order more books than you need. Order enough to take care of somebody's if they got damaged or something. Like 25. Like if you sell 300 or 400 books, maybe get 25 extras or something. I've got 8 million copies of Lone Wolf behind me. I had all this extra crap I printed as extras, like posters and stickers. Dude, I just started boxing it up. It's gonna get boxed up, and next
Doug.
time I can go to a con, I'm gonna sell it all.
Yeah. If you want to send me a box, and I will sell them at a con, and I will split the money with you.
I've got a ton of stuff, dude. I mean, it's ridiculous. I keep finding hardcover copies of
Well,
Legend.
I'm
I
gonna.
thought I sold them all, and every time I lift up, I've got like 3 or 4 copies of that now.
There's a toys and collectibles show that's coming around May that I'm trying to get a table at. So, like I said, if you want to send me some books, I'll split the profits with you and everything.
I'll send them to you, man.
And maybe I can sell them at the table and get you some more fans.
Yeah.
Hell
I mean, I'd hate to lay them down next to your book because then everybody definitely buy mine.
Oh yeah. Well, I would use yours to draw people in, and then
come on, man.
I would charge
Anybody,
$30 for a copy of Lone Wolf, and it also
joke,
comes
man.
with a copy of Skinny's books.
anybody that spends 5 minutes and looks at Otis Stein and doesn't and they don't buy it, I don't know what's wrong with them. You've got the craziest book series.
I don't
ever
know.
been.
It's a terrible
I
book.
agree.
It's a bad book, man. Like
Well, I mean-
it's not very good. It's terrible.
It's just because you're unsuccessful, doobie smoker.
Well,
Right.
yeah.
Right.
I
Damn SJW DB smoker.
I bet if
motherfucker.
Otis was some kind of weird cybernetic reptile, it'd probably be like a lot better.
Well, see, at least that's where I went. I went with the cybernetic.
Do you guys know
Yeah.
he's trying to make it a movie? That's his next. Like, it's gonna be
He's
a
been
movie.
saying the same crap for like 4 or 5 years now. There was a video.
I
game
welcome
at some
him
point
to development hell.
when Doug
Yeah.
Staples showed up. He was
He
trying to
has
do
no
everything
idea.
Doug
He
Staples
has
did.
no idea.
They're still trying to make a Borderlands movie, man. Like, come on, like, and a Halo. Well,
I'll
they
make
finally
a-
got that TV show or whatever the fuck you want to call that.
After my film is over, I'm gonna pick an IP from indie comics, and I'm gonna make a movie out of it long before he does his.
I think I'm gonna just get a bunch of cardboard boxes and like make a cybernetic looking suit that's spray painted, and make my own where I run around as Psychotron.
That'd be fun. You'd be
Hell
like,
yeah, I'll help
we
you
could do
produce it. That'd
something
be
like
badass.
Red Letter Media did with Space
Yeah.
Cop.
Yes,
Hell yeah!
yeah, this would be fun.
That's what I want
We
to
can
do, man.
dedicate it
Like,
to EVS.
that's why I
Thank you
want.
for inspiring us
Yeah.
all.
That's why I would want
Congratulations.
like full control. Like I would never just like sign off rights to Otis or anything like that. Like I would want to like be not
Yeah, you would.
necessarily be there to micromanage, but I would want to be a part of the process because I would want to make sure that like everybody's having a good time. Like I want it to be fun. I want it to be. I don't care if it's fucking cheesy and shit. You know, like.
I feel you. I've been a part of those.
I want it. I
productions.
want
It's
it
fun.
to. I would much rather it to be like one of like something like Space Cop or like fucking Troll 2 or something like that. You know, I
Oh,
would
God,
much
Troll
rather.
2.
What?
What's worse, Troll or
But
Troll
those
2?
are still like beloved movies, man, because they like had heart and stuff in them. They don't watch them just because it's just goofy as all hell. It's also they also watch it because of the people who were dedicated to doing it, like despite the fact that they didn't know what the hell they were doing.
Right.
Like I don't know, there's just that allure to it. I wouldn't mind if Otis had that low budget kind of feel to it, you know. Like I wouldn't want it to be like some Hollywood blockbuster. That'd be really gay.
If somebody thought that your book was a Hollywood blockbuster, they need to be fired.
Yeah.
Yours is not
Like-
that at all.
I honestly could see Rob Zombie trying to make yours into a movie.
No, fuck Rob Zombie.
I'm not saying he should, but I could see him.
Like you
looking
get
at
Rob
it and being-
Zombie to just be visuals, and don't touch the directing or the acting.
I don't
Yeah,
even
down.
like
I'm
it.
down with that. I'm down with that.
I'm
I can
not
do
even
that.
okay with his
I
visuals.
I could see yours as like an anime.
Rob
You remember
Zombie can handle the soundtrack.
you remember
Let's put him back
the
where he
Beavis and Butthead
belongs.
Butthead the movie when they
Do
did the
America?
drugs. Yeah,
Yeah.
the Rob Zombie directed that scene.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
could
he
see
did, yeah.
Otis being like that.
I don't know, man. Like I've seen
Beavis, we're
like
tripping.
El Super Beasto, and it was all right, but I don't know. That ain't the feel I want to go for. I don't like Rob. I like his music, but his movies are kind of.
I'm not.
You
Even,
got to give it to a guy who just slaps together like found footage and grainy editing and crazy monsters, and someone's like, here's the Halloween franchise. You deserve it."
I mean,
Like, are you kidding me? Like, God damn it, it's not fair.
yeah.
Shaft
I
right
haven't watched this Monsters movie. I don't want to.
I watched it. I thought it was okay. It was. I mean, like if you go back and watch the '60s Monsters movies and then watch his, it's got the same kind of cheesy feel to it.
I'm not interested in a prequel. That movie's a prequel.
Yeah, I mean, I get
I don't-
bored sometimes and watch really bad stuff like that.
Like,
What else was it that I watched, Skinny, that everybody hated me for watching?
Uh,
Oh, I watched Captain Marvel just because I was bored.
yeah.
yikes! I've only seen it once, and that's how it's gonna be.
Yeah, me too.
I still haven't seen it.
In all honesty, all the superhero
You didn't
movies
miss
I've-
anything.
I-
Really.
I have-
I mean, it was just. It wasn't the worst movie ever made, but it was just generic. I mean, there's nothing to it.
I haven't
Generic,
seen
stupid,
like
no development.
any of the newer Marvel stuff like at all. Like
Everything I've seen, I've watched one time, and I've never had a desire to go back and watch it again.
I haven't seen Black Panther. I haven't seen any of the new fucking Spider-Man movies. I didn't see Captain Marvel. Fuck. I saw like the Infinity Gauntlet movies, like Endgame and stuff,
Yeah.
but I don't remember fuck all about them.
See, I watched those one time. Everybody's like, "These are the greatest movies," and I watched them once, and I was like, "Yeah."
I watched
Yeah.
Endgame twice because I forgot already watched it because I couldn't remember anything. And then, like, halfway through the movie, I was like, oh, yeah, I remember
Oh,
this
yeah.
now.
I see this.
Endgame to me felt like, I don't know if anybody else had this, but it felt like Terminator 3, where, like, I completely the movie is just so forgetful. I just completely forget I've ever watched it. And the only thing I ever remember from that movie is like Arnold Schwarzenegger, and there's like a fucking casket full of guns. Everything
That's what
else
you
about the
remember?
movie I
That's
can't
what you
remember.
from Terminator
So I
3.
keep going back to it, and I'm like, huh, fucking Terminator 3, I don't remember that. Oh, it's this one. Like, I don't know, that's how everybody else like really liked
Dude, we saw that in
Endgame.
the theater.
I don't know
Like, we knew we
why.
were screwed the second that movie started. Like, I could feel like the oxygen being sucked out of the room.
Yeah, I
Oh,
remember seeing
it
that
felt-
in the theater too.
It was like, oh, this feels like a made for TV bullshit. Oh God, here we go.
Which makes me really sad because I don't even want to see the new Ant-Man movie, and that was like the only character I was like super excited for. Like out of the whole bunch, and I'm not even excited enough to watch that. Like they ruined Moon Knight.
I liked Moon Knight. I
I
thought that's
did.
the only decent thing Marvel's done in a long
I
time.
mean, have you read the comics though?
I've read the old '80s comics, and I've read a couple of the little mini series
'Cause
where
I-
he's crazy and he's in the crazy house.
Yeah, because I did. I don't know. It turned it into something it wasn't. Like I just wanted to see him like beating the shit out of people, like that fucking what is it? Fucking was it
Well, I will
Ellis
say,
on it?
They did drop the ball. They instead of doing the origin, they like skip ahead where years later he's been Moon Knight, but one of his multiple personalities doesn't know about it. It's like Moon Knight's one of those characters they really should have done the origin,
Yeah.
and they didn't. He wasn't Moon Knight near enough. It was mostly the dude.
And I didn't like the guy either. I thought that was. I'm like, of all the characters of all the personalities to focus on, why? I don't know. It's okay you like it. I wasn't happy with it.
Well, I'm not
I
saying
got
there's.
incredibly bored with it. I was like, yeah,
I'm not
this
saying
feels
there's
like
not a
some
reason
cheap ass
not to
Indiana
like it.
Jones bullshit. Like,
Did you see Werewolf by Night though?
no.
I liked that one too, and it wasn't anything like super amazing. I mean, when I say I like something, I mean I can turn it on and I can sit through it. If I could sit through it, it's okay.
But I
Like,
don't even
Yeah.
like normally when I'm like all the streaming stuff.
dude, I'm not.
I'm a nerd. I'm watching like documentaries about ancient Egypt and shit like that. I'm like, I
I'm
don't
kicking
know.
Larry out of the chat. He said he likes Terminator 3 and the new Ant Man looks sweet.
He likes Terminator 3. Can you ask him what he likes about it? I'm
I don't
fucking
think he'll be
curious.
able to remember. He'll be like that part where Arnold Schwarzenegger has the casket full of
Full of
guns.
guns.
That's the part I like, but just because it's the stupidest thing I've ever seen.
The movie happening in broad daylight just kind of takes it away from. Like,
Yeah.
God, that movie. And it was back in the day when you didn't know everything. Like, I didn't know James Cameron didn't direct it until I sat down and watched the fucking thing.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, Jesus. Murphy.
I'm gonna say something, and I think James Cameron's a terrible director. I think he just gets lucky because he throws enough money at something that it just happens to work because he ends up being surrounded by some actual talented people.
No, I think you're wrong. I think you don't know enough about James Cameron.
I don't
You need
know,
to-
man. Like
There-
I've seen his behind the scenes stuff, like, and I've like dived deep on him. Like I've been watching his.
Dude, he started with Corman, Roger Corman. Dude worked his
Matt
butt
Damon.
off. I think
He is a bit of an arrogant prick.
that's true. I think though he deserves credit up until maybe the last
But yeah,
25 years.
that's
Uh,
what I mean. Like today, right now, I think
Oh,
he's
yeah.
incredibly overrated. I think
I
he's
think
calling
now he
half of it in. It's not on the level of like, even though it really didn't like wasn't like one of his blockbusters, but I really like The Abyss. I think that's a fantastic fucking movie. So I don't mean to shit on like past James Cameron, but I mean old
I know what you mean.
farty, fucking arrogant
I
James
agree with
Cameron.
my thing is I do respect him because he did work his butt off and made some really cool stuff back in the day. But like, I'm gonna have to say after Titanic, and this is my thing. Titanic is not a good movie. I don't care what anybody says.
Dude, Titanic wasn't even supposed to be what we saw. It was
Yeah.
supposed to be an action movie.
Yeah. Well, okay, like the stuff
Like
that
we
he
didn't
had
even
built-
get the real Titanic. It wasn't supposed to be this love fucking
Yeah,
bullshit. It was supposed to be a legit disaster film.
and that would have been amazing. And the stuff they built and everything for it was, dude, my screen just flashed off again. Somebody's going to get cut off.
I'm
What?
still here.
No,
I don't know. I think the government's probably monitoring my
It's James Cameron.
well, I did
Yeah.
start doing
sent the
something.
Terminators after us.
Right.
Yeah, Larry says I think he got a bubble on his brain doing all the diving. That's probably right.
Doing all the damn diving, right? He got a bubble in his brain.
Oh, that's
What
why.
what is that called when there's
Oh, I can't remember.
the
But
bands?
he's
the
got the
bands,
same thing that happened to him that like happened to Kevin Smith and everybody else. They're so awesome when they start off, and then they completely lose sight of the real world, and they live in this fake Hollywood place, and they start trying to appeal to these Hollywood weirdos instead of normal people because they don't know what it's like to live in the normal world anymore.
But someone fucked up too and gave James Cameron money.
Oh,
yeah,
I think his best films come when he's trying
Larry's
to do
up-
as much as he possibly can with as
I
little
agree.
as you can.
I agree.
Larry's upset. He's crying
Larry.
them sticky maple syrupy tears. I don't like how it switches to my other stuff. It's supposed to be. I'll have to get you to run me through that, Doug, because like it keeps changing what's showing on. Even though it's supposed to be selecting the window for the StreamYard, maybe it's selecting the whole fucking window, even all the different tabs. I don't know. It's being weird. But I sent
Also,
Larry
James
an
is a
invite.
great um, photographer. He understands miniatures and depth of field and all that stuff. Like you got to give that guy credit.
I do
Yeah.
give him pass credit. I just think that right now he's just overrated.
Well, I think Avatar was the most overrated piece of crap I've ever seen.
Dude, I watched it, got a fucking cyclone of a headache.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
And I'm never going to watch it again. I'm never going to watch
I mean,
Avatar. I don't give a shit
not
about
watching
blue
the
people.
new one.
I
either.
think John Carpenter lost his touch eventually too. I mean, Asylum really wasn't that
I
good.
think he kind of stopped giving a crap. I think,
I don't think he cares about his films near as much as we do.
yeah.
Yeah.
And also, I think he stopped caring too when you have to fight with the studio all the time to do stuff. He's finally just like, okay, do whatever you want. I don't care.
Fuck it.
I think that's what
I'll
happened.
just make music for my movies now.
And his music is awesome.
I
Dude,
love.
I love
John
Carpenter
Carpenter.
is one of the reasons why I'm a filmmaker. Like,
He's one
I
of my
wanna be,
fucking
dude.
inspirations too, man. I love how he went in and he got so involved with it. Like he was doing the editing, the directing,
very few could pull that shit off.
and the music. He was doing like, fuck, man. It was just him and like a carton of cigarettes, like.
And his wife. Right?
Yeah.
Him and his wife, a carton of cigarettes and a Dr. Pepper.
Maybe he had hot Dr. Pepper. You guys
but yeah,
ever
you
had a
gotta-
hot Dr. Pepper?
I make this argument all the time. What movie do you think is Carpenter's best movie? I'm gonna tell you what mine is. I bet you guys are gonna be like,
See, this is
"No."
what makes me mad. Like Larry's like all up in my shit like a peanut about like give me the link. I give it to him, and that still ain't jack shit.
We're still about to talk about Larry.
I don't
Fuck
know
Larry.
what Carpenter's best movie is, but I like The Thing.
I think my
Most-
favorite one would be like Assault on Precinct 13, probably. That's
I
a
haven't
really.
seen that one in so long I can't remember.
It's just a
That's-
really
that's
good
one of my
fucking
favorites, yeah.
action movie, but because it's kind of like a horror movie too, because like all these fucking guys like coming through the windows and stuff like crazed rabid Canadians.
After the maple syrup.
But if we're talking about like technical, I think his best technical film is John Carpenter's Vampires.
I don't know if I've seen that one.
That one had
Oh, yeah.
fuck, what's his name? Woods, James Woods,
James
right?
Woods in it and Billy Baldwin.
I like In the Mouth
Oh,
of
okay,
Madness.
yeah. I've seen
K
that one, but
Blonde's
it's been a
talking
while
about
on
that
too.
one. That's a good favorite too. With shit, what's his name? He's the guy from Jurassic Park who's now like a fucking sheep farmer
Yeah, that's
or whatever,
where
The sheep
Yeah.
farmer.
or a
that's
pig
the one
farmer.
where he figures out like he's like a character in a book or something, right?
Yeah, it goes all Lovecraftian and stuff. It's really
Yeah.
fucking crazy, man.
There it is.
I like my favorite movies are just bad movies, cheesy B movie crap.
Have you seen The Room?
Room? Yeah, I don't like stuff like that.
That's the ultimate cheese shit though.
No, when I'm talking about cheesy, I mean cheesy action movies, like just
Oh.
terrible, bad action movies.
I'm a
can't-
big Schwarzenegger action film fan. Like I love those films.
I love.
I pretty
Schwarzenegger.
much watch anything with Arnold in it. You know what I mean? Like I haven't watched a bad movie with him in it where I was like, this sucks. And I
Well,
can get
even
through. I can get through almost any Arnold movie just because Arnold's in it playing Arnold.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
I really can. Like, what was that one he did? Like, where he was like fighting the devil.
End of
Oh, no,
days.
End of
End of
Days.
That
Yeah.
I hated that movie. I didn't like it, but Arnold was in it, and I sat through it. I remember that. But,
I really liked what was it, Last Action Hero? Even though it was a
God, that's
huge
my
flop.
favorite.
Dude, it's
That's my
so
favorite.
good.
It's so good. It's so underrated. I don't know why people don't love that film like I do.
It also has the
I'm-
best Megadeth song in it.
Yes.
That's
Speaking of which, I on my channel I did a tribute, Angry Again, Megadeth,
awesome.
a tribute to Anakin Skywalker.
Angry Again.
So
Best-
because of
best
that,
thing ever.
yeah, I love that. The soundtrack is badass in that movie. By the way,
Yeah,
all
it,
the songs were
it
pretty
really
cool.
was. The AC/DC song was that
Yeah.
Big Gun.
Big.
See, I'm gonna have to say that movie's also another reason why I love the Desert Eagle, because that's what
Yeah.
that was his gun in that.
Hands down, I think some of Arnold's best acting. I believe like he had the way he plays that character is just built. You know, it's perfect.
Yeah,
It's funny. It's witty. It's one of those movies. When I saw it as a kid, my dad actually liked it too. He was like, "Oh, it's not bad. It's pretty good." So I know it related to more audience than it should have. It's got fucking hilarious moments in it too.
it's got some ridiculous one-liners in it.
Definitely love it. Ice that guy, cone of phrase. And the kid's like, "You're driving with no hands." He's like, "You think it's easy? It takes years of practice and never do it in heavy traffic."
I'm gonna have to watch that when we get there.
You got to, man.
I think I have it on.
The police captain is fucking hilarious.
I've got it on DVD somewhere.
The kid's
remember-
coming into a movie and he's like, "You told your dad." He's like, "How do you know this about us?" He's like, "Drax Slater won." He's like, "What does Jack Slater winning have to do with this?" He goes, "No, the very first Jack Slater." He goes, "You told your dad?" He's like, "I don't even know this kid." It's just fucking just so it's got cameos too. There's like so many celebrity cameos in that movie.
Yeah. See, I remember I saw that movie in theaters. Do you remember the Disney Adventures magazine?
Yes.
The first time I ever got one of those, I think my grandma bought it for me, and it had an interview with that kid in the movie, and they were promoting Last Action Hero, and I was like, I want to see
cool.
that. So we
I remember seeing the big ass, those cutouts in front of the movie theaters. You know, of him with the gun and the kid and the big letters. I was like, uh-oh.
got Larry, not the other Larry, in here. Are you here, Larry?
No.
Oh. Broke it.
Well, the StreamYards does have that habit to where it'll mute somebody when somebody else joins sometimes. I think that's what Chris is going through.
Maybe. I was having trouble with
I
my
lost
settings.
my audio again.
Yeah. There we go. Well, shit, I don't know where to put the chat now.
Oh, yes, but go back and watch Last Action Hero. You won't regret
Yeah.
it.
I'm gonna have to break the DVD out, watch it old school.
So many. My friend and I and his dad, we would just spend like Saturday night sometimes renting Arnold Schwarzenegger movies and just like making fun of all the one-liners that Arnold says in the movies. Those are some best times of my childhood right there, making fun of Arnold movies. And we quote that one all the time, like when he kicks the guy in the nuts. He says, "Do you want to be a farmer?" And kicks him in the nuts, and he goes, "Here's a couple of acres." He makes his introduction smoking a cigar, walking on top of police cars, breaking the lights and shit with his big old cowboy boots.
I never got why people didn't like that movie.
I didn't either.
Yeah.
Now that we're talking about it, I want a pair of cowboy boots like that because they're snake skin.
And yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't wear them anywhere because I'd look really stupid. But I'd be like, hey, look, look at
It's
these
so
boots I got.
stupid. Like when he walks into his apartment and he shoots the fucking
Yeah.
the fucking closet. He
The
goes,
guy
"Whoa,
falls in
how'd
it."
you know there was somebody in there?" And he goes, "There's always somebody in there."
Oh my god.
So how you doing, Larry?
Oh, not too bad.
Man, it's weird. We got Doug, we got Larry, and we got Chris here. He's new, but yeah. Man.
Saturday and it's early. I can actually come on.
Y'all are giving me fucking Nam flashbacks over here.
Damn flashbacks. Charlie's up in the trees.
We're
Oh,
struggling
man.
to sell everybody else's books.
Well, if it'd help if one of us was a success.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
Sadly,
does help. If only we had some kind of artificial frog thing.
I don't
Yeah.
know.
I always thought a success was actually accomplishing a goal, and I believe everybody here has accomplished some kind of goal. So I mean, we're all successes.
There are two
Sure.
people I know 100% without a shadow of a doubt that I've never met in real life that are wearing my merchandise.
Hell yeah.
So I'm a success, man. Like, yeah, I got two people, but I'm an upstart. What the fuck you expect? I gotta start somewhere.
Hey, I got
Mhm.
people. I got people I've never met listening to my music in their car.
Hell yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Dude, success is subjective. And if you're willing to say somebody's not successful, you're probably a fucking narcissist.
Well, then just think about it. Okay, here's this dude claims to be the biggest success ever, made all this money, but he has to take 5 minutes to find Skinny on Twitter and make fun of him.
Yep.
It's
That's
like
what I was saying. Yeah.
it's like what does it even matter? that
Ooh, I
Skinny
can't
even
wait till I'm
exists to
that
him?
successful.
It's like,
Yeah.
let me find this guy.
Well, one of them was like,
like 2
"You
weeks later.
you
yeah.
should just shut up and join the fun, man." And I'm like,
Yeah.
I want to be in your dick sucking club. Yeah, that sounds
Meet me
fantastic.
behind
That
the
sounds like the
Pizza Hut.
perfect place
Meet me
for me.
behind the Pizza Hut for the circle jerk in Dirty Mike's house.
Look, man, I'll show up for the audition. I'll have a bunch of Green Lantern books in the back seat. You'll have second thoughts, and away we'll go. We'll part separate ways once again. All right.
How does he have time for that in between 3 years of getting shit done?
You got to take a
Oh,
pizza
man.
break sometime.
Well, I think I made him really mad because I told him like I kind of acted like I found out the secret. And I'm like, man, I figured it out. I finally cracked the code. Like, it takes work. He got pretty salty about that. He tried to say he put like $1,000 into my book, and I actually looked back on it. He only put in like, I think, $200 or something like that. So,
Uh-huh.
Well, I mean, it doesn't. Okay, so he wants to say you're not a success, but then he paid money.
He backed your
he
book.
backed
gave
my
you
Dude, he's
money?
he backed
dude,
my
he's a
first
walking,
campaign
talking conundrum.
5 times.
Come on now.
Because he just had to throw money.
Well, you're more successful than me. He never backed my book.
never
Oh
backed
no,
my
he
book
never
either.
backed mine.
That's what I always do to people I hate is I just throw money at them.
I hate you want to back your book. That'll teach you.
No, his narcissistic ass is backing your
Look,
book so he
look.
can tell people.
We got to
"Look,
be
I
honest.
back the little people.
Ethan, if you want to like throw another fucking grand at me, I'll take your fucking money.
I could use another producer on my
You'll
movie.
still get a book. Like I won't do anything to it.
I'll give you
like,
copying credit in 3 years.
He backed my first book and I hated his guts then, but I still sent him a book when he bought one, so he got the same treatment as everybody else.
I can put differences
Now-
aside.
Did he actually?
I
go and
actually
get the
did write
book?
him a nice little note, though. I said, maybe one day we can set our differences aside and realize that we can both just put out some books. And, of course,
And he wrote, "Meet me at this Pizza Hut."
I actually didn't do that,
Mike's
but
house.
I think
Five
sometime
people.
after that, that was.
Oh my goodness.
With narcissistic behavior, you can never tell when they're being genuine. So,
I mean,
like,
I know the guy really just has a hard-on boner for me because I've just like consistently just popped out of nowhere to make him look like a fucking idiot. Like that time that I popped on his stream.
I think he's in love with you. He's seen you puffing on that bong.
He's like, I want that skinny feller to come over and come
He's
back
like,
to the.
here,
I got a bong you can
you
puff
know,
on.
Skinny's got a purty mouth.
Due to marketing laws, we can't call it Little Caesars anymore. That's false advertising.
Oh jeez.
That is so stupid. But yeah, like, and it's so weird. Like, he had this whole little fucking army of just basically just brainwashed people. It was so strange. It still is strange, man. It's like some shit you would have seen on a Twilight Zone episode, like, for real. Like,
Dude, what's
or in the
weird?
cafeteria amongst women's.
I don't know if it's as bad anymore because I've tried to ignore them for like what 3 years.
I
I
just
Yeah.
have people who constantly
But
share
back,
shit, so I'm inundated with this damn shit because I'm not gonna like.
I blocked it all. Back, what was it, 3 or 4 years ago when I made Malin mad? It's like you have all these different little
That's not hard.
specs.
Oh yeah,
No,
when you
well,
didn't thank them on your
and
Thanksgiving tweet, on a
I
platform that
I
has
thanked
like
everybody
a
that helped
limited
me.
amount of characters. So
Yeah. Yeah.
And
What do you do? What?
Doug
well,
didn't even
Oh.
thank me, and like if it wasn't for me,
I
you
went
know,
on I went on my Indiegogo and found everybody who like if they shared the link, it sent them to my thing. I went and got everybody and I thanked them, and that was it. And Malin comes in and goes, "I had you on my stream and you didn't even thank me." So then here comes Mike Miller and goes, "Oh, I'm writing this dude's name down so he'll never be on my stream." And then
Uh-huh.
Oh
Yeah.
my
Anthony
Oh
god!
my
Anthony,
god.
what's his name?
Yeah.
That did the Santa Claus book. He comes in and starts talking crap about me after he
oh,
had
Mr.
actually,
Potato Head.
yeah, he had actually
Because
DM'd
you
me
didn't
before.
say thank you.
Yeah, because well, I mean, there was nothing there. He hadn't done anything. I didn't say thank you to everybody who had me
You
on
even
stream.
Doug even snapped back at him. He's like, "Well, you didn't do anything for me to thank."
And I said, well, what are you going to do? Kick me out of Comicsgate? And they did.
Oh no!
Good times. Oh, yeah, that's been like 3 or 4 years now. It's had to be like 4 years because that was like in 2018.
Yeah, it's been a while, but you
Do
know,
these
he
fuckers
also
want to make comic
jumped
books
up
anymore? Or
your.
they just want to
Well, he
be on
also
YouTube.
jumped up Doug's ass because Doug was selling his book for too cheap.
That's what got them mad originally because
jeez.
everybody
Why
else was
does that?
selling
Why?
their,
Who cares?
they were selling
Yeah.
$25 books and I was selling $5 books.
Yeah, that's what's up.
Yeah,
Really?
I was like, hey, look at these $5 books. My first book sold.
They're
300
mad because they're going to be
something.
starting to expect their book prices to go down, so they're going to
Yeah.
jump on you, and you're an istaphobe now, and you're out of Comicsgate, pal.
That
Yeah.
may be why they're bad at me right now, because like Otis is like $12.
Oh, yeah. My shit's going to be cheap too, because guess what, motherfucker? I don't care about money that much.
Well, one guy that's like incredibly controversial. I don't know why, but always been nice to me. But Preston Poulter, he always had a good business model in my mind as far as comics go, because because I've talked to him about it too, because he's kind of helped me a lot here and there, you know, with advice and stuff like that. But he always encouraged me. He's like, you know, you make your money on the variant covers, but it's always important to have a consumer model, a cheap, non-costly, easy to get product for somebody to get.
Yeah.
Yeah, on this last campaign, I actually sold the most expensive book I've ever sold. And it was not this one. I actually charged more for this than for the copies of Legends of Lone Wolf. This Iron Maiden
Yeah.
homage book,
Cool.
$25. It's like 50 pages. I was actually trying to sell it cheaper, and all you guys kept going, no, you need to sell it for more money.
Doug, like seriously, like
why though? Like, why do they care about your prices?
Well, I mean, the
Well,
guys,
we're
that did,
encouraging-
these guys are trying to help me out, so I'm not scraping the bottom of the barrel at the end of the campaign.
we want him
okay,
to make
okay.
money,
I
so
see.
he's, you know,
The other guys from before were mad because I was underselling them.
Okay, yeah, that's what I was thinking. Like,
we
why
don't
are they
want
mad?
to see Doug go into debt. That's the difference.
See, and that's my thing. I'm not in this to make money. I want my artists to make money, but I have a day job, and I do that, and I have no delusions that I'm going to be a big time writer or musician or anything. So I just do it for fun.
That's pretty
So-
much my way of thinking too. Like,
If I don't make $1 million.
I sell
anything in
books
the
and
world.
people happen to buy them. I'm really happy. I'm gonna enjoy it while I can.
Yeah.
I don't know if it'll last
Dude,
forever.
It's
I hope
just
it
a-
does.
I mean this in
Yeah.
all honesty. It's just a matter of time before somebody finds your book and it explodes, and you have like this huge cult underground thing going on.
I
I
don't
honestly
know.
believe that. I do. Your book is just too like crazy and out there.
Well, I
And
mean, stuff like what
that's
you got
positive.
is really good too, man. That's what I
Yeah, but
mean. But
mine is just it's a colorful comic book. You see it and it's a comic book. You see yours is like it's laced with LSD.
well, it kind of is, Derek.
Like the dude
Don't lick the
like
pages if you got to take a drug test.
like the first issue is one thing, but in this where you're experimenting and as Otis goes through and the colors pop out,
Yeah.
that's mind blowing. That's just really good. I like that you did that. That's to me where it becomes laced with LSD.
I did that because I always liked how that was done in Wizard of Oz.
Yeah,
How they did, like, when, before the tornado, everything's in black and white, and then when she goes to Oz. And I'm not trying to have it be a metaphor or anything. I just liked that it did that. And I was like, let's do that. Because everybody's always in this constant debate, too. They're like, oh, do you like black and white or do you like color? And I'm like, why not both? Why don't
What does it matter?
why don't I just have a book where when my antagonist does enough drugs that the book just shifts into full color.
I mean, if you're not selling a 300-page book, are you really selling the book?
I know, man. Like, where's your 200 pages of fight scenes? I mean, come on.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I got a lot of
I
fight
forgot you're
scenes.
wealthy.
Oh
Yes.
yeah, that is true.
Well, funded by the rich. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've got
Great
that
point.
Baron plasma money,
Yeah.
But I do encourage people like sell plasma if you can. It's a good way to get free money, and it does save lives. Seriously,
Hmm.
it's not
I'd
that
have-
big of a deal. I mean, it
I'd have
hurts
to
when they
drive like
poke
2
you,
hours to do that.
but like when I would go, I would just sit in a comfy chair and just watch shit on my phone for like 40 minutes, and then I was done. And I made like $300.
They probably don't want mine. They'd be like starting to pull it out. And
They
be like,
actually,
they'd be like, we don't need gravy.
from my understanding, when I was donating, I haven't tried to since I moved up here because the closest place is like an
I gotta
hour
take these
away.
sunglasses off.
But they were actually paying you more if you had COVID.
Right. Yeah. Because you had the
But you
immunity.
didn't have the vax.
Yeah.
So they were actually paying unvaccinated people more if they had already had COVID because they had the antibodies.
Yeah.
I don't know
Up
what
here-
difference that made, but okay, cool. You want to give me more money for rebelling against the system? All right, cool deal. I'm up for this. Capitalism,
Up here we have free stuff, so they wanted us to give it to them for free. And I'm like, no, you can't have my blood. Sorry.
See,
Yeah.
that's one thing I've always
Yeah.
questioned. Like, why can I sell plasma, but I can't sell blood? Why do I always have to donate blood? Like, I would totally give more blood if they were giving me money for it.
Good question.
And I know they're making money. They charge people for it.
Sure.
I've seen those insurance bills. I've gotten them.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you're selling my blood, so why can't I get a little cut of
I'll
that,
tell you
know?
what I figured out. I went to we got like a little clinic up here, and you had to pay. And for a long time I didn't have insurance, so I'd go in and I'd just pay, and no big deal. I went in once and I used my insurance. They billed my insurance more than what I usually pay, and then charged me more for using my insurance.
Sounds about right.
Yeah.
And I was like, hey, I'm not going to use insurance anymore.
I think the reason why we can't sell blood is because they're like, well, that'll create like a black market. And I'm
Well,
like,
there's
what?
probably
Are
black
you going to
market
like.
Wait a
But
minute.
anyway.
Yeah.
I mean,
Wouldn't it-
if you got a guy who walks into like a blood bank and he's got like a garbage bag just full of fucking blood and he just puts that on the table, I think that in itself would raise a lot of questions. I mean, I don't.
Didn't
I-
they do that on It's Always Sunny? Didn't they have a
Probably,
big
yeah.
garbage bag full of
Yeah.
blood?
Yeah, probably. Yeah. But it's just so absurd. They're like, well, this could be a black. Like, how? Like, are they gonna like have people by gunpoint, like force them to go to the fucking blood bank? Like, what?
Yeah. Usually, if there's a black market, it's because there isn't a service, right?
Normally, yeah.
Yeah. because it's like up here with the weed, like the black
Oh,
market
hey.
for weed pretty much went away, right? So
I had one of those too. I was showing off. I still got a whole bag of them, man.
I've got a couple of them laying here.
I got to count and see how many I
holy
have before
mackerel!
the next campaign. Oh, I had
got-
like
Jesus.
I've got some of these too. These lone wolf.
Send some of those up too. Yeah.
yeah. You want? I'll send you these
Hey,
because you
got
could
some of
probably
these.
charge like $1 for these.
easily.
That's what I did, but they're hard
Yeah.
enamel.
Yeah, I've got pins I charge like $2 for. So I mean,
But
they don't
yeah,
sell very well.
if
but,
I have
you know,
any
they're-
left, I'll send you some
Man,
because
back in the
I
day,
accidentally bought these from China. I thought the company was located in New York. All
but
right.
you were wrong.
But when
Yeah.
but after I placed the order and everything, and when
They
they
do
shipped
that
me
on
the
purpose.
package,
Oh, yeah.
it was all
So
in
you
fucking
think it-
Chinese.
Yep.
And
Yeah, they do that quite often.
I
but-
feel kind of bad because I kind of want to go back and get some more pins from them. But like, I would much rather try to find a more American company. I just
I don't know
haven't
if you
done that
can.
yet.
I used to sell these like
No, I
thought they
can.
would. I thought they would do better than what they do because back when we played punk rock shows,
Oh
if
yeah,
you had
everybody has them.
buttons like
Yeah.
you could sell 100 of them, make $100. You know,
I know where
Yeah.
everything of mine is made. My comic books were printed in Maine. These were made in Arizona, along with the bookmarks. I forget where Sticker Mule outsources their stickers to.
you just did that because you're racist and you hate the Chinese.
Yes, I do.
Everybody hates the Chinese,
Oh.
including the Chinese.
I
so-
want to do what I can to like support, you know,
Yeah.
I
my
know what you
my,
mean.
my country and local. I'm actually in talks. There's a printing company in the area, and I'm in talks with them. I want to see how much they're going to charge to print my books, because they can also do T-shirts and other stuff. And I'm like, hey, you know, if there's this local place that's just right down the street, you know,
Yeah.
They'll charge you twice as much for what you can get it done on the internet.
Pretty much. Yeah. That's the problem I have right
Yes.
now. But
well, that's
can
why
print
you
my stuff at work.
negotiate, because I honestly wouldn't mind paying a little bit more, because that's a really good selling point for me too.
Yeah.
Like, and I can also, with it being local, I can actually go in there and like film my little gay Mr. Rogers videos where I'm like, let's check out making the books, you know, and I could pretend like I'm Doug TeNapel. And
That's one thing I think was hilarious was all of us guys a couple years ago were printing in America,
yeah.
and then everybody else's books are late because they're on a slow boat from China.
yeah, when COVID
It's like,
hit.
oh, we printed 5,000 copies, but they're stuck on a boat in China.
And by the way, I'm not making fun of Doug TeNapel for doing his videos of going to like API or whatever they're called. I
No,
love
I
those
love that.
videos. That's one of my favorite things. That's why I want to do that too. So,
Yeah.
Yeah, me too.
but the
But it
idea
is
in of
funny, yeah.
itself is kind of absurd that I'm like some weird fucking Willy Wonka and I could go into like a sweatshop at Oompa Loompas making my comic books.
They're looking at you like, "Fuck is this?" Yeah. No, I can print my books at work, but it costs me a lot more than it was, even with the exchange rate. So
Like honestly, if they tell
Yeah.
me like if it's an cost of like maybe a dollar more per book or something like that,
Jeez.
I may go for it
Mm-hmm.
because it does give me a lot more control, and also it saves me a lot of money on them shipping books if I
Yeah,
can just
exactly. If it's
swing by
local,
there and
it's
pick
way
them up,
easier.
because
Yeah.
that saves me a couple $100 right there.
Yeah. Now see, the
So
other
it may
Larry-
equal out, but like I
Yeah.
can instantly see my print proofs.
Yeah.
Because I can just run over there real quick and be like, all right, cool, you guys are good.
And see, the other Larry used to print his books locally too, but then he got too big for that, and he started using some printer, I think, down in the States or something. But
He probably uses Comics Wellspring, I believe.
probably,
He probably
I-
either uses them or he probably uses Kablam.
I used Ready Comics. I was really impressed with them.
I really like Kablam, but their website sucks, so I don't use them.
Yeah, well, Ready Comics website sucks too, but they were very easy to work with, I should say, because I think they're a pretty small business. So
Yeah, that's where I got the metal cards and stuff from, was Ready
Yeah,
Comics.
man, I ordered
by the
some
way,
of those
Doug,
too.
if you want to
Yeah.
look them up. They're also doing glow-in-the-dark metal now,
for
too.
free right now.
Are they doing Are they doing glow in the dark covers?
Yep. You get
Okay.
those. Yeah.
But-
Then Lone Wolf 2 is going to have a glow in the dark cover then.
but
Yeah.
So
just like you know, like this bookmark right here, it's just one sided, but these were $1 each,
Mm-hmm.
and these
It's not
were
cheap, but you
I
know.
don't. Who needs a bookmark in a comic book?
Right, why in the fuck
mean-
are people making bookmarks for comics?
I mean, you thought you didn't make a 300-page book.
Well, I mean, yeah, if you've got 200 pages of
Well,
fight scene, then
because-
you need a bookmark, but, you know, like
the
you're
reason.
just flipping through it.
Do you
but,
really
know.
want to know the reason why I did a bookmark? It's because
Sure.
I was already getting trading cards from them,
Me
and I
either.
needed something else for a cool stretch
Yeah.
goal, and the same people
Why don't you
also
just make
did
a
these.
bottle opener?
Yeah.
I-
bottle. Why
I-
didn't you just make a bong?
A bong.
I looked into both.
A
I'm
half
wor-
bong, half bottle opener, a bong opener.
I've actually looked into the bottle opener. I've got plans for doing all of that, but sadly,
Phoenix
I
Press.
can't
Do
do
you know
a
who that
bong
guy is?
because Kickstarter
Oh,
won't
Phoenix,
allow me
yeah.
to sell anything that has
let
anything to
you
do
sell
with drugs or
bongs?
tobacco. No,
That's
I
w-
lame.
because my plan was I was gonna
Can't
get
you just sell a hookah? with
I was gonna
quotation
get
marks?
like little wooden dugouts, and I was gonna have like a laser etch of like Otis or something into the side of them.
There you go.
That's what I was thinking, but I can't sell this. I gotta figure out another way to sell it. Maybe I'll do it through my own shop.
Mr. Blonde
you gotta
says his
do,
comics are printed in Florida.
Yeah,
Ron DeSantis prints his comic books
Yeah,
by hand.
Florida.
he gets all those Mexicans to print them before he ships them off to
No,
Martha's
it's,
Vineyard.
it's Cubans. Cubans are in Florida, not
Dude.
Mexicans.
I don't
Maybe it's a little bit
understand.
of both. Yeah.
I don't understand why people like I kind of want to do what he does and just sell my comic book direct.
Yeah.
But
I've always
people
wanted
will
to do
not
that.
buy it.
I know.
Do
I've had-
both, guys.
Yeah.
That's what I keep telling y'all. Do both.
You
I
can
have
do
my
both.
book
All
on
I'm saying
Amazon.
though is I'd rather just do one. I want to
Yeah.
do one. I don't want to crowdfund. I just want to have a store.
I've had my stuff up on my website for sale for I think 5 months now, and I haven't gotten a sale yet. And my digital copies are like $2 too. It's like nothing.
See,
Yeah.
I finally closed my Etsy account, but I had like I would sell one book a year, and by the
Yeah.
time you pay the $1 a month to keep the store open, you're in
Wow.
the hole when you
Yeah.
sell one comic book a year.
I've had my website since 2011, so I paid a lot into it, so I'm not getting rid of it or
Now,
anything. But
on your
yeah.
website, do you have an actual store, or do you just have it
Yeah.
like?
Yeah,
See,
it's
I was going to try that, but it was really expensive.
it's a store, but it goes through PayPal, so it's
That's
kind
what
of
I-
a store, but it's not really a store.
That's
you know,
that's what I need to do.
Yeah,
I actually get a lot of traffic on
So-
my website, which is weird.
yeah.
So do people just not purchase comic books after campaigns?
I don't know. That's what it seems to be. Well, I
They-
mean, at conventions,
They just want to
yes,
do
but
crowd.
yeah.
Yeah, they go to con, but they
Yeah.
just want to crowdfund for some reason. It's like I don't know.
It's so friggin' weird, man.
I
That,
s-
that seems asinine if you don't have to. Why
I
not?
know.
Why would you put
I'm-
yourself through that?
But
I know.
apparently, we're all really stupid. We don't do crowdfunding right.
Like, well,
You
going
don't-
to the shop,
Apparently,
Yeah.
you're
Don't finish the book.
unsuccessful and stupid.
You just come up with a stupid
Yeah.
idea and get people to give you money,
yeah,
and then 3 years later, you send them a book.
yeah.
We're all
I mean-
stupid and doing it wrong.
I mean, we go into the these guys will
Apparently.
go into the store, into the comic shop, and buy a crappy Marvel book they don't even like off the shelf, but they won't go on to my website and buy a comic for like $5. Like, what the hell? You know, like.
I don't
like
know.
I
That's really-
have my
I have to
book
tackle
on
that same problem.
my first issue's on Amazon, and I don't even promote it, but I do
You get
sell a
sales?
few books here and there because, like, every 3 or 4 months, Amazon will send me a check for like $30 or something like
That's
that.
not
It's not
bad.
a lot of money, but I also have my sales like down really low because, like, with Amazon, you choose your price for your book. Like,
Yeah.
they have their minimum where they're taking their cut and everything, and then you can choose to either sell it for that or you can go up or whatever. And I went up a little bit so that way it would qualify to be in libraries, which
Yeah.
is really cool. You can request Otis in your library. I don't know if they'll actually get it, but it's an
I don't know,
option.
I think I'll go do that.
But but it's
Love my
pretty cool
library.
because I don't
So who
advertise
prints
it
the
at
book when
all.
somebody buys it?
It's usually done by a local company that's close to where the person's ordering from, so they have different companies they use all over the
Yeah.
world,
Like
basically.
subcontracted out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
so-
okay.
And what that also does is it kind of gets around international shipping. Like you,
Mhm.
at least for me, it opened my book more to the international market because there's like some bookstore in Australia that has Otis listed on their website. So you could
Huh.
buy it in Australia and not get hit with these outlandish shipping prices because, Amazon's got it, and I guess that store has to deal
It'd
with
be really
Amazon.
funny if they
and
charged that person the shipping charges.
that would be
Get the
funny.
money.
But no,
Liam's
it does
already
it does
bought, like, 50
circumvent that
copies, so
because a
it's
lot
like,
of
yeah.
times the books will be printed in the order's origin.
Now, how do you have to format it for that?
It was really
weird.
weird, Doug.
Yeah.
It's really weird. But
I-
It's-
I managed to do it, and I got to make sure I can do it again because I'm redoing book one anyways. So I'm gonna have the 3 single issues listed on Amazon, plus I'm gonna have the trade on there too by the end of the year.
If I can ever get my office space I'm working on done, I'm gonna start lettering, and I'm gonna re-letter. And it's not anything. It's not a slight towards Fly Fox Pro because dude I thought he did a good job on my book. I just want it to be consistent since I'm going to letter it from here on out.
Yeah, I don't blame you there. That's why I'm
So-
relettering issue 1 for the most part because there were some mistakes made. I had Carlos draw in the dialogue balloons.
I remember somebody
So-
told you that might not be a good idea.
Yeah,
was that?
and this is how spiteful I am.
Hey,
and
You got to try it, man. You never know till you try.
Yeah, that's
you
right.
never
yeah,
know
you don't
until
know.
you try.
Some people got to learn the hard way.
Yeah.
and
There's
I learned
many
the
times
hard way.
you've told me things, and I've been like, "Nah, I'm just
Yeah,
going to do it this way,"
Fuck
and it's come
skinny,
back and
yeah.
bit me in the butt.
But yeah, so when I actually did get critique on the lettering in the first issue, I actually, decided to rage about it on Twitter and just set the whole world on fire like any normal person would. I totally just didn't step back and kind of consider the criticism and rethink how that issue is panned out. And
Was it that bad?
No.
It wasn't that bad.
I think it was pretty bad because, like, I had to smoosh everything sometimes to
wasn't
get it to
optimal.
fit in these pre-made balloons.
Yeah.
Now, what you could have done, which this hindsight's always 2020, you could go through and have Carlos design you some really cool balloons that you can stretch.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking, but we just hadn't gotten around to doing that.
Well, and it
so-
also takes a lot of time, and he's doing a lot of artwork. So,
Yeah.
that's why I want to do the lettering because I've got a drawing tablet now, and I can hand draw. all the
Carlos
balloons.
and I have a lot of interesting ideas. I'm trying to get him to help me
Draw
design
wieners.
a font that I can use for lettering Otis for when he speaks, like a whole font of just gibberish.
Do you
Yeah.
think you'll ever get him to draw a wiener though?
No. But
But-
he is going to have to draw 2 guys taking a
Yeah.
piss.
Yeah. Funny story about him though. I know he's busy and everything, but when I put that call up for artists, he like DM'd me and left me like a book in my
Oh, dude.
DM. He's like, "Oh, you want to get some work done? I'll give you." I'm like, dude,
He-
like I know, like I'm gonna use you again. Don't worry, like
I talked to him because I
Uh.
was looking for an artist to do Lone Wolf 3, and like I've not
Yeah.
even got 2 out yet, and he's like, "I really want to do it," I was like, I hate to be, I don't move at that pace yet.
I love and I hate that about artists at the same time because
See, that's one thing about it.
they'll be like
Eric
thinking
same
like
way.
you're just sitting on like this huge fucking, like you're Scrooge McDuck. Like we just got like this fucking big fucking sea of gold that we go and swim in and shit. And they're like, "Hey, bro, we can
Hey,
get this
man,
done
like,
right
yeah,
now."
man.
And you're like,
Yeah.
you're having to convince them like, "No, I'm broke. I'm just like you. I'm poor too." Like,
Yeah, it's like, please understand that I only get paid once every 2 weeks.
exactly. Yeah.
I can only spend like $50.
And a lot of these guys are so talented and passionate that I do
Yeah.
feel bad that I don't have the income to just hire all of these guys who reach out to me like
Oh
that.
my
'cause
god, man.
I see
like-
a lot of like really talented people, and I hope to use them in the future. I'm just, I'm getting around to it. It's like I made that one tweet where I was like, "Hey, artists, are you open for commissions work?" And I wasn't even saying that I was hiring anybody, but now I've got
No.
like this flood of people who like they think I'm Scrooge
Well,
McDuck swimming in
yeah,
that sea
yeah,
of gold right now.
So
And
I
I'm
had to,
like, I'm sorry. I was just trying to find people so that way, like, I could have references for later on down the line. Like, when I need
yeah.
something else, I can
Dude,
be like,
as a
oh, there's
person who
this
sells
guy.
their services, thank you for that.
Yeah.
I have a lot of people coming into my DMs and says, "Hey, could you do this?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I could do that. I'm open for commissions. Okay, I'll let you know when I'm ready." I'm like, "What the flying fuck? What just happened here?"
Well, sometimes I'll like
Come out
message
with
an
it right off the
artist
bat and say, "Hey,
too.
look, I'm just pricing. I'm not
yeah, see, that's
ready.
what I always do. I
Don't
always
start
say,
the
hey,
ball, and then when
Yeah.
it gets to the time where we need to start talking about work, and then be like, okay, I'll let you know. Because you want to know what? Guess who doesn't hit me back? Those fucking people never come back to you.
yeah,
Yeah, and that's what I usually do when I reach out to somebody. It's like, hey, what are your rates for this? And they'll immediately always think like I'm ready to remove like right there. I'm like, oh, hold on.
Of course we do.
I'm
Like,
just
what do you want us to
budgeting.
think? Right.
I'm
Uh,
doing
Say that.
research.
Say
I'm-
that up front. Say
I'm
that up
Yeah.
front.
budgeting.
That's all I ask. I get it. Just say it up front. Be like, hey, I'm budgeting, so don't I'm like a used car salesman. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah,
But
sometimes the foreign ones can be very pushy.
So I've got this idea about something I wanted to
the
float
foreign
by
ones.
you guys while I'm here.
Okay.
I've got I don't want to mention no names, but Jens will know who it is.
Okay.
It's just nothing bad towards that person. This person has got a book. No, it's not you, Skinny. That's not been finished, and it was crowdfunded. And I really want to hire this guy to do comic book stuff for me, but I can't do it until they finish the book. So my idea is, what if I find an artist that's appropriate to finish the book and fulfill all that crap? I just do it myself. Just say I just do it myself, and then keep the book and like crowdfund extra copies myself. Does that sound like something stupid?
Yes.
No.
Does it? Skinny?
You're gonna have to say that one more time.
Yeah.
Okay. This
Clarify
dude,
just a little bit.
I know it's ridiculous.
Doug's wanting to take like a half-finished book, outsource
Have
the
another
art to
artist do it.
someone
Finish
else to finish it, and
so
then,
I can fulfill that person's obligations. But then, is it okay if I sell the book on the side to make more money?
I don't see a problem with that really.
see,
No,
my
I
thinking is like
It's your project.
that's a
Nobody
big
else-
turd sandwich you're gonna have to bite into. I know you.
Yeah.
If you want to help Brad, that's one thing, but
There's
as
two
a
other
business
things.
decision,
There's two things to it. See, I can't just out of like, and this is the thing. Some people's question.
You can't fire him. I'll do it.
Well, no, he's not working for me. He does work
Oh,
for me
okay.
for free. That's the thing. People get mad at me because I have a cover that he done. I'll show you the cover.
Okay.
And this is the thing.
I'm
Brad-
already mad at it. No, I'm just kidding.
You guys, you and Skinny's seen it.
That's an awesome cover, actually. Yeah.
Okay.
That's bad. I've seen that on the internet.
I
Yeah.
didn't commission Brad to do this. People's like, why are you commissioning Brad when he hasn't fulfilled this book? Why are you doing that? And the thing is, I didn't commission Brad. Brad's like, hey man, I'm going to draw this for you, and if you want to use it for a cover, that's cool. And he actually did one for Lone Wolf too.
Nice.
But I love his art
Dude,
so much that I
Joe
want,
Ball stopped doing work for me because he hasn't finished other people's work, so he just basically stopped working on projects, and now I never heard from him again. 2 half-finished projects because he was like, you know what, I can't do this.
but my thing is, Doug, is
That's why
how
you finished the
hard
book
it
first.
was to find a good artist like Eric.
Yeah.
Are
don't
you
wanna
gonna
say
be
Eric to
able
do
to
it, but I
make
don't
that
want Eric to.
happen again? Because like I want
Money
the best
talks,
for you,
bullshit
but I
takes the
also
bus.
understand that you and I both know that a lot of these guys who say they're artists really aren't fucking serious, and they're not
I know
really
that.
wanting. Are you really wanting to kind of slug through all that bullshit, or are you already like thinking of maybe getting somebody like Eric on board. To
I
finish it.
I thought of an artist that would be awesome at it, and I almost think he could. I almost think he could almost match Brad's style.
Hmm.
But the thing is, like,
But
he's
is that
really.
somebody really you can depend on? You know, like
I believe I can depend on. The only thing is that they have a real life, and the art thing is not their main thing. So
Okay.
it would be a slow go, like maybe one page a month or something.
uh,
Yikes.
That's the only thing.
I wouldn't go that route, honestly.
I wouldn't either, because that's going to turn into.
A slog.
I
And
mean, it
then
just open for me personally. I think that would open them up to a lot of excuses.
and then
coming
at
your
this
way
point,
about not having work done.
are you then also opening yourself up to all of this criticism that would normally just be Brad? Now everybody's like, oh well, now it's Doug's doing it, and
Thing
so
is, I don't. That's the thing. I don't come out and say, "Hey, look, guys, I'm funding this book that didn't get finished." I get it finished, then I fulfill to the people. See, this is taking money out of my own pocket to do. Is what I'm saying.
yeah, I get
Let's
that,
just pretend like that's no big thing.
but
Then it's fulfilled. Then
Oh, are you coming at this from the artist point of view? So you're the artist looking to have somebody else come in and finish your book.
no,
no,
this other guy's an artist. He had a
I'm not.
book. A bunch of shenanigans went down with fucking
They pretty much
nonsense.
ruined his whole wanting to finish the book because he was dragged through the crap with it.
Yep.
And so
Jesus.
he doesn't want to finish it. But I in good faith, I can't hire him to do my work till that book gets finished, fulfilled. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
know what
and
you
he
mean. Yeah.
I
Even
feel
though he
you.
doesn't want
I
to, I
would
think it's a good thing for him. He needs to finish that book.
Yeah,
Get it
I kind
out
of
there.
agree.
talk to me more about this privately, Doug, because I kind of want to help Brad out too. So,
I mean, we can brainstorm and just come up with ideas. I mean, I want to help the dude out. That is the thing. That's the
because
main thing. But I
Brad
want
is
to
a
make it.
really good guy, and he just got like the campaign. There's just all kinds of drama. I think people were saying like he was like doxing people or something, and it was
See,
just a
and
bunch of lies and bullshit.
me and
And
you've been through that, but we had our own little structure of friends that kind of stood up for us, and I don't think he really had that.
No.
well, no, he learned that all the CG people would just turn on him at a fucking moment's notice.
Of
Yeah.
course they do.
Sadly.
Yeah.
That's what
They just
those
need.
people do. They don't have standards. There's no sense. They talk about loyalty, but there's not even any sense of loyalty. Like,
Dude, there's no loyalty.
No. If they need a target, they're gonna find one, and it doesn't matter who it is or.
that's why I stopped doing
Yeah.
like a lot of the Ralph videos. Like people ask me and stuff, and I'm like, well, the Rage Tuber thing, there is that purity spiral, and you can't avoid it because like if you start questioning and judging everybody else, at some point one of your friends is going to goof. What are you going to do then? Are you going to start
Well,
going after all of your friends? And some people have chosen that path, and
Yeah.
to those people, nothing is sacred. And
well,
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
because I mean, like you and another friend gave me a warning that one of our friends was going to do that to me during the Legends of the Lone Wolf thing,
Hmm.
and it like kind of blew my mind. And
Did
today,
it happen?
yeah, well, they didn't come after
Who
me,
is
but they
that?
started
Yeah.
they started going after everybody else. We all know who it is.
well, Chris doesn't, but
I
you
know.
know.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Well, you don't.
it's not important. Like these stories
Yeah.
you're telling, I've heard similar stories from a lot of people over the years in
Yeah.
Comicsgate.
No, I
Well,
know it's
something.
stupid.
I still
Something
don't
bad-
know
People
what.
are gonna act like what we're talking about is they don't understand that this is actually the more of normal conversations of people in indie comics than
But-
you would think.
But
Yeah.
Doug, there were like a couple of people that I warned you about though. Like it wasn't just one, so you got to
Hey,
be
I-
a little more specific for me because
Yeah.
there were quite a few turds in that.
That's fine.
Use Doug's
that
words
collection
against him.
there.
We
You gotta
Yeah.
learn on your own.
we
right?
got we navigated it though. We got
There-
out of it.
We really did, man. That was
Yeah.
people are weird, dude.
They
Like
are. Yeah.
But like what you guys was talking about earlier, like I know people who have been thoroughly trashed by Comicsgate, but they will not stop using the hashtag.
I know.
And then
Like,
they
what
ask
is that?
me, they're
Yeah.
like, "Why?"
It's because
why
they have an abuser mentality.
it
They're
must be that.
that's I
It's-
always kind of equate it to that
And
fucking
I had one
battered
person
spouse
say-
syndrome.
There
I
you
had
go.
one- I had one person say, "Well, they're not as bad as these guys."
Why can't
Well,
you be your own guy though? That's
exactly.
what I
Why
ask
not
people.
stand in the gap and say, "Hey, I don't need you
Like-
guys. I'm better than all you guys. I'm gonna lead by example."
Like, even though Doug and
Exactly,
I
Doug,
are
exactly.
friends, and we kind of collaborate. We're just friends, and we're just
Yeah.
collaborating. We're not in any fucking like group or anything like that.
like
There's
for
no.
fuck's sakes, like the whole Comicsgate thing started, and the whole reason I was interested in it is because it was people going outside of the mainstream. It wasn't about like forming your own clique. Or
Yeah.
And the
something like
funny
that,
thing
Exactly.
is
That's
like
what I
if the
thought it was until I
mainstream,
got in there.
if the
Yeah.
mainstream is so terrible, why are you desperately trying to replicate it? Like,
Exactly.
I don't
Oh,
get that
shit,
either.
man.
Like,
Yeah.
and I got room to talk. At least, even Doug said, Otis is
Some of
fucking
it, though,
weird and outlandish and
It's
crazy.
it's just
and
human behavior,
Yeah.
Like,
like
It
magnified
is,
to
but-
its fullest.
I guess I could have been like them and got somebody to make some kind of Spider-Man ripoff or something like that. But I didn't.
Superman.
I chose to take the actual indie path, and for some reason that's counterproductive to Comicsgate somehow.
Yeah. Apparently.
And
Yeah,
so
'cause
much
you
for
can make an
building a
X-Men
community
knockoff.
when all you do is shit on small creators who are actually building up an audience too. Like, how do you, what are you building up then, man? Like,
Nothing.
I tell you, and the biggest,
A
the
house of
dumbest,
cards. It's gonna
the
fall
dumbest
eventually.
thing I've ever seen, the dumbest thing in my whole life, is you have Alterna Comics. You have
Oh,
Peter
God.
Samedi. Dude could have started a movement by himself.
Yep.
Here he is making indie comics and stuff, doing his own thing.
well, he
to
did
fall
have
right-
he had Team Comics, and it was actually
Well,
doing really well.
He had to fall right in with Comicsgate, and now nobody gives two craps about Alterna.
Well, you know what happened was he lost his news printer, like the news printing paper, and he fucking freaked out because he had to print more expensive books.
That's one thing that
Yeah.
really aggravates me, and
Yeah.
I don't. Peter does seem like a nice guy and everything, but when he's
Yeah.
going out there like talking about, newsprint comics are super cheap. No, they're fucking not, dude.
Yeah,
Could you
I
please
found
just
that
stop
out.
lying to everybody? Because, yeah, maybe they are for you when you're having to print thousands of books, but when, we're just only selling like 229 copies of our books. It costs a lot of money for us, and you're really
Yeah.
making us look bad to people who don't understand.
People
Because
don't know.
everybody's
And that
like
didn't last
newsprint,
either.
and you're like,
Like,
it's more
yeah.
expensive. They're like, how? He could do it. Well, he's printing like fucking,
Yeah.
3,000 to 4,000 fucking books,
See,
man.
That's
Like,
what makes me mad about the people talking about us crowd selling and crap.
Oh my god.
They're
Yeah.
they're
Yeah.
they're saying things with nothing. They've done they don't know anything about it, and then you've got their little crowd there watching them. And they goes, yeah. Why don't these guys do this? You're right, because they don't know anything about it.
The thing is, those people do know about it. That's the worst part about it.
Well, yeah, they
yeah.
know, but I'm saying
Yeah.
the crowds don't.
Guys like Tyler. He was finishing his books at one point before he crowdfunded, and now he's not. And then I'm like, okay, like, what are you doing, man? Like, he just wants to get paid up front.
I thought
yeah.
going into Comicsgate and comic community that having a lot of it already done or completed was a good thing. That's what
It
I was
is.
told.
well,
But
no,
now
it-
you
it-
guys are telling me that it's a bad thing now, and I can't
Yeah.
keep up with this shenanigans shit.
we're
know,
pre-funded
man.
by the wealth. See, that's one thing
Yeah.
that I didn't understand when they started in on that talk, because a lot of these guys have done nothing but kiss the ass of the people who told me to have my book done before.
Yeah.
It's
Well,
like,
I'll tell you anything.
how can you kiss the ring of Mark and Tim and talk about how great they are, but at the same time try to shit on me because I'm following through on the business practices that they do that worked, and I'm following their lead?
I tell you what taught me to get things finished before you print was Legends of Lone Wolf.
Yeah.
Everybody couldn't do their 5 or 10 pages and screwed me on it.
Oh, hey,
Yeah.
we got some old metalhead. I was talking about Thrashers the other day, too, man.
Mm.
Really hoping you keep up with that.
I actually have my copy of Thrashers right here next to me. I'll
Sad-
say
Me
that.
personally, I kind of respect a creator who has their book completed.
Well, the
It's
way I
hard.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I know it's
I
I know it's
mean,
not easy to do, but if you can do it, I don't know what's the problem with it.
I've
Yeah.
always had the mindset
That's
of
badass cover.
uh, if this is your dream and if you don't invest in it, you can't expect anybody else to.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
No, I
and
mean,
and
There's
as
some of the
far
shit
as
that these
like this
upper guys
bullshit
told
crowd
me.
selling thing, even if you look at like my Kickstarter for issue 2 with the Make 100, that if you actually read the campaign, it would say, hey, this campaign is to raise money for printing of issue 2 and to raise money for production costs of issue 3. So I was doing the exact same thing. I was still selling a book that hadn't been completed yet, technically, or I was raising money for a book that hadn't been completed by offering a book that had. What's the problem there? I find that's a better example.
well, I know
No, I
one
mean,
thing.
there's nothing wrong with that. It shows that you got one book coming. You're probably going to make your third one. I mean, it would be a healthy assumption to assume.
Yeah,
See,
by that point, we were already working on the third book, but
what's insane though is all these professional artists push for the crowdfunding and not being done because when they worked in the professional offices, you didn't get paid if you didn't turn pages in.
That's right. Yeah.
They would give you like so much up front, I believe, but most of the time you didn't get any
Yeah.
more money, until you turned some pages in.
Yeah. I
So-
wonder who did do that.
Yeah. Now it's like, give me money, and then 6 years later you might get a book.
Yeah. I don't know, man. Like it's a stupid thing to argue. I think a lot of them just aren't used to failing, I guess.
Yeah,
They just don't know that it takes a lot of work to get into this sort of stuff. I have like 20 years experience of failing at doing like fine arts. So, I mean,
well,
so yeah.
I just took
Yeah.
what I did in music and just moved over
Yeah,
to comic books.
Exactly. It's
That's
all
that's what I
sort of the
tried
same thing.
trying to do with.
I
Film.
just took
That's
the
what I'm
money
trying
I would normally spend on cigarettes and decided to spend it on comic art instead.
There you go, man. Yeah.
So, I mean, even if my books like don't sell, I'll probably still be making them because I think it's fun.
Hey, I would like to report
Same.
that I actually made a profit on Psychotron.
There you go,
Oh,
man.
cool.
I just
Yeah,
got to
that's
give
good.
it all that. I just got to give it all to Eric. But hey, it's a profit. We didn't break even, so that's what I'm happy about.
That's what's up.
Yeah, I'm hoping with issue 3 I'll finally see myself kind of in the green, so to speak. I broke even with 2. Like it, I know I made a lot of money on that, but I actually did. Like that ended up paying mostly for issue 3 and everything. So
Well, what money we made is not the amount that Eric deserves. He actually deserves more money. So
yeah,
I'm hoping on issue 2 that we can sell some more, and that would be good.
that's
If I was
why.
paying-
That's
if I was
why I
paying
embrace the
Eric out of
titty
product-
covers, man. Like
Yeah, I can't do that.
I know,
And
I do.
have
I
nothing against
respect.
you for doing that.
I
So, mean, you
respect
do
your
what you want.
stance of not doing it too and trying to find another path. I'm too weak, Doug.
Dude. It's you do what you want. You don't live by my standards.
Well, it kind of
And I-
complements my genre because like tits and horror kind of go together like dogs and peanut
Well, I mean,
butter.
it's skinny. If skinny
What?
wasn't doing that, then
Yeah.
I mean,
Tits and horror go together like dogs and peanut butter. It's just science, man.
I need to leave now.
All the best horror movies have tits in them.
I'm agreeing with you on
Yeah.
that part. Like the rest of it.
The dogs and the peanut butter.
Yeah.
no.
Dogs love peanut butter.
Yeah.
Some old metalhead says profit. What's that? Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
In all honesty, if I paid Eric like a decent pay rank what he deserves, I would be deeply in debt. So Eric's gonna get a little bit of money, but it's not the amount he deserves. So I'm gonna
Oh, hey, Dave's in the chat too. That's pretty
What's
cool.
up, Dave?
Dave shows up and everyone else leaves.
Usually
They're like,
that's what
oh
happens.
shit, it's that guy.
Yeah.
Hey, you gotta butt punt the back of my head, cat. She likes sitting on people's like shoulders and stuff.
It's funny.
I
So
like dogs too, but cats are pretty cool.
I've had a really good reception to my album that I put out the other day,
Yeah.
and I'm actually seriously thinking about doing a 7-inch record.
Right on, man.
But the only thing is, I'd probably have to charge like $10 or $15 a piece for them.
I would
But
do it.
I'm really hoping I can pull that off.
Go check out some campaigns. There are people doing that, and they charge a lot more than that, I think. So
I need to reach out to some
Yeah.
well, I hate to use this word, but I need to get in with the music community.
Oh, you know what I saw the other day that a lot of recording artists, like indie recording artists, were using were mini discs. You remember those?
Yeah.
Yeah, the Sony mini discs. Yeah,
That's
they're
crazy.
starting to put mixtapes out on those on like Kickstarter campaigns.
I've
and
got a
stuff.
mini disc player somewhere.
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
I was
Yeah.
wanting
But-
to do those old school flexi discs.
Yeah.
Like they would come with like cereal or something. Like back in the day,
Right,
the
yeah.
Ghostbusters cereal had like the song on it.
Yeah.
See,
Wanted to do a flexi disc.
see, now I actually did move forward on that album I was talking to you about, Doug. So hopefully you can submit some stuff too.
Dude, I've got like a billion songs that you can
So.
just take and put on
Good.
there.
10 million.
But I've got some other artists. I got that one other punk band in Tennessee. They're down for doing it. My buddy Brad, who actually just got a record deal, I guess, in Alabama, was down for it. I got some rap that's going to go on there too. Another one of my buddies down in Alabama, one of the cooks I worked with.
I had a record
So.
deal one time.
Oh yeah.
For serious.
Yeah.
It sucked. we got screwed out of money.
Oh, I don't.
Yeah,
Yeah. Music business is friggin' cutthroat, man.
I feel like I'm kind of responsible for Brad's record deal because, like, it happened, like, right after I was the only person who followed him on Amazon Music. So I feel like
There
I
you go.
helped him secure that in a weird way. No, not
Yeah.
really. I'm really happy for him. The dude works his ass off, but people who make it in music are always just the most insane people in the
They have
world,
to be.
honestly. Sane people like Doug just, I mean, your album seems to be taking off and everything, but like the people who are like hopped up on everything, like, you know what I'm talking about, Doug, those people. For
I think
whatever
I'm-
reason, they pick up a guitar and they just like shoot up to the top. And they're just the most craziest, outlandish people you could ever come across, too.
I need to make another rap song. Is what I need to do.
Apparently, yeah.
Well, actually, I just
Oh.
need to re-release Hawkins Park Heroes onto Amazon, so it can shoot up to #1 on the rap charts.
Dave says that cat is the chillest. Yeah, Nana's pretty chill.
I want to get a cat.
Yeah, cats are pretty cool, man. Like I said, I like dogs, too. Like, nothing beats a good, big-ass dog.
I like my dog.
Oh, hey, we got Sam in the chat, too.
What's up, Sam? Hey, Sam, did you ever get your copy of Psychotron? I just wondered how long it's going to take in the mail for it to get there.
If it's anything like me sending stuff to, why can't I think of his name? James. And Video James. Dude, like, it took like
New
4
Zealand
months.
takes forever. Yeah, I know.
Dude, we gave up hope, and then he's like, oh, it showed up.
I think the same thing happened when it wasn't him, it was Booster. I sent some stuff to him, and it was like almost the same thing. Like I even got the tracking number out and looked it up, and it had just disappeared. And then it's like a couple days later, it appeared at his house.
What are you doing, Cat?
All right, gentlemen, I gotta get going here, but it's been great talking with all you and meeting you.
Alrighty.
Yeah, we'll have to do this again.
Definitely. Do I follow any of you guys on Twitter?
Maybe.
Probably. I don't know. I'll get with Skinny later on and get y'all. I'll follow you.
Yeah.
Find me on the Twitters.
Definitely. It's been awesome, guys. Nice meeting you.
Yeah.
Have a
Alright.
good
Skinny,
one.
thank you. Have a good one,
Later.
guys. Take care.
Yeah.
Cat
Get to
says
the
bye.
chopper. Oh, I wish he'd have heard because we was talking about Schwarzenegger.
Ow, you clawed me a little bit, you turd.
Yeah, I would get a cat, but I just don't know how Mr. Poop would do with a cat.
I don't know. I've had
All right,
dogs.
Sam said he got it. As long as you got it, man, that's you. Whenever you get ready to read it, I just really appreciate you backing it, dude. I'm glad you got it. It's all
Yeah.
safe and sound.
I'm getting ready to start shipping out Otis too. I'm still waiting on that
I
last
can't wait
batch
to
of
get mine and
covers.
shoot it with a gun.
Yeah, I'm gonna probably send you one of those metal covers.
Do you
so
want
that
me to
you
like
can
try
shoot
out
it.
different calibers on it?
I don't know. It's
Like I
whatever
could start
you
with
want.
the 22. Maybe it wouldn't go through it.
What you should do on your next campaign is offer a metal cover of your book that you've shot.
And then
Yeah,
take
that would be cool.
take a case and sign it and send it to. I could shoot with the 44 Magnum.
Slap it. Yeah.
But get
Man.
like a metal print that you've used as like target practice and maybe have that even worked into the artwork, like some kind of target.
Yeah.
And
Or
get
just have a hole in the
graded.
book. Just say,
Yeah.
man, you just got a hole in yours. Because there ain't no way I could line them up and shoot them in the same spot every time.
That's right.
Especially with the desert. If I shot with the Desert Eagle. Because sometimes.
Well, I
sometimes
was
I'll take-
thinking like making the cover like an actual target, like maybe even make it like Doom, like at the bottom you got Psychotron's head, like in the old school Doom and
would be
stuff,
cool.
and you got the gun showing up, and then
Yeah,
like
yeah.
beyond that you would have like one of your bad guys or whatever, and you would just like try to shoot and aim, and maybe you miss. Psychotron's not accurate all the time either.
True.
Who cares? It's kind of cool.
Mm-hmm.
Might be a fun thing to try. Those metal covers weren't that expensive. I mean, they were.
I'm doing glow in the dark, though. No joke. Glow
Well,
in the
I
dark
know
covers won't happen.
when I ordered it, they had a promo on where it was like no extra cost to get upgraded to glow in the dark. So
I don't care
Just-
if it costs
I did it.
extra. I'll make the consumer.
it
pay
wasn't
for
much extra anyway. So yeah,
I'll be like, consumer, consume.
yeah.
I'm thinking about taking a page out of your book, though, Doug, because like you did the deluxe edition.
Yeah.
But I don't know if I'm going to be able to have like an actual like extra side stories and stuff to throw in there.
Oh man,
it was
I
cool,
think
yeah.
you should
Go ahead.
put your sketch drawings in.
I do too. I've told
Yeah.
him that.
Yeah,
do
we'll
At
it.
least
see.
pick out like the best pages
Yeah.
and just write a little commentary next to it.
Yeah.
I'd love to see that stuff in there.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I wrote this after I smoked about an ounce of shrooms, and
Or tell us what it is, because you just don't just put page whatever. Write your little thing and say this is this page, so that way we could be like, oh, how did they get this page from this bullcrap?
I have
love behind
done
the scenes
for
stuff.
on a couple of the updates where I did like a comparison of like the draft page that I did compared to what Carlos ended up with.
I think it would be awesome, man, for serious. I like stuff like that in like when you read like collected stuff and they've got all the extras in the back.
Yeah.
I always like that. That's one reason I wanted to do some backup stories,
But
just
I-
like little random extras.
Yeah, I might end up doing something like that for like a deluxe edition of Otis. I don't know. I'm still kind of thinking about it. I like the deluxe PDF though. I like doing that because actually I sold more of those than the regular PDF.
Hmm.
People just like throwing extra money at me, I guess. And
Man, what? Just saying, like the deluxe copy of my book sold more copies than the regular books.
yeah.
I thought people would be like, "Oh, that's $25. I'll just buy the $5 book." But no, people actually was more interested in the $25 book.
I'm just struggling a little bit because if I do like a deluxe version of the book,
You
that's-
said doo doo.
I said doo doo. But if I do, Like a deluxe
Dude.
version of the book, that's another print run in of itself. Like
Yeah.
Yeah.
right now with like my variant covers, it really doesn't matter too much because they don't charge me extra for variant covers. I can just say, hey, I need 300 copies
Oh, that's
and
nice.
I need, 50 of each of these 6 covers, They're fine with that. But now if I do a deluxe version, I'm adding content to the book, so then that's another fucking order altogether. So that might hurt a little bit. I don't know. I'll think about it. But I still like that you did it because you had that extra content, like the extra side stories and
There
stuff
was
by
supposed
Fly
to be
Fox
another
and
one,
stuff.
but it never got done. I've got a 10-page Cyclotron story that I need to get somebody to draw.
We need to get one of them pencil jockeys and just lock them in
I mean,
a
I
room.
could always send it to Carlos and pay
Yeah,
him to do
man.
it.
Yeah,
You do it.
Carlos is always an option, man.
The only thing is, I don't know if he understands what I'm going for when I write it down, and I can't draw pictures. I mean, I could,
That's-
but I don't know what to draw.
That's the ultimate reason why I like drawing is because I do find that there's been times where I'm talking to like an artist and everything, and even though I feel like I adequately explain something, they still end up with a different interpretation.
Yeah, because they see it different in their brain.
And that's nothing against them. That's not even their fault necessarily. We all interpret everything we see differently. It's just how life works. So that's why I like drawing, because I'm like, well, if I draw it, then they know exactly what I basically want them to do.
Yeah.
There's no worry about, oh, well, I interpreted this drawing incorrectly. Like,
That's what I like. I get surprised because then I'm like, what page is this? I have to go through the script. Oh, I see. It's this page.
yeah, and I don't know. It's fun for me to draw the entire book because, like, as opposed to a script, I also have something like a finished product that I can
Oh.
flip through and I can be like, okay, everything seems to be lining up and yada yada, as opposed to like trying to see if like a bunch of text on a fucking page draft lines up, like, because you don't see a panel layout or anything like in a script, at least.
Yeah.
Like, like where's your point of reference to know whether or not what you're doing actually is working within the comic? Like with the page turns, like for the second page of issue 4, I got that splash page of both of them like pissing. And
I got a question. Is there a rule for sound effects? Like if you make sound effects?
I don't know. I'm
drawings?
still trying to figure out sound effects. I actually asked Eric if he would help me with sound effects because I have no idea. Because I don't.
Everybody is mad at Skinny today. So you got another post on an old post.
Oh, did I?
Yeah, it's our good friend MC there. So
Huh?
yeah.
What?
Late books aren't a big deal to me. Of course not. Yeah.
Oh, I probably have that account muted. I don't give a shit.
Yeah, it don't matter.
These guys have been like I said on my stream, like I wasn't as polite as you by any means, Doug.
Yeah.
But I was like, these guys have been running in a circle for 6 fucking years. Like, who's gonna listen to these people? Like, I
Yeah,
wouldn't.
for real. Well, dude, I've had all these guys, and all these hashtags and all this crap muted for like 2 years now. I don't see none of this crap. And if somebody comes at me and starts crap, I just block them or mute them, or both.
I
Like the dude
usually
just started to crap, about the Iron Maiden homage. He didn't even understand what an homage was. I just blocked him. I was like, "You're an
Man.
idiot." I'm like,
yeah.
I don't know what his business is.
He
you know?
got mad because I made fun of AI art because
Yeah.
Well, I
gonna
looked
use
at
it.
his Twitter profile too, and like all of his posts, like he's got replies locked and stuff like that, and he's like, I'll speak my mind and everything like
Well,
that. You can come on my YouTube channel if you want to debate me or something like that. It was like
yeah.
just full of dumb horse shit. And I was like,
Well,
this
you know
guy's
who he's
fucking
good friends
crazy.
with, don't you?
But
Well, yeah. Yeah, he's gotten good friends with the Phantom Menace guys, but you know, like,
Well, and also he's buddies with
but
another person that likes to
Yeah.
argue and fight.
yeah,
On,
yeah.
but I try not to block because I prefer to mute people because like I want them to be able to like see my posts and see that they have had literally no fucking effect whatsoever on what I'm doing.
I like to block them because I like for them to go,
Yeah.
"He blocked me," and
Well,
then cry and
yeah.
rant about it for.
What I
I
don't get about that guy though is like I've followed him for a number of years. He used to make really good videos about
Yeah, I'm
writing and stuff.
I was
Yeah.
subscribed to him.
well,
On,
these
YouTube.
guys fall into that fucking drama trap, man.
Yeah.
They get this high where they think they're right all the time, and then they end up with this really bad take because I don't know, maybe they smoked the wrong weed or something.
YouTube,
Oh,
it's just a
fucking hell,
YouTube
man.
thing.
Yeah.
Look at YouTubers. They
And instead of
Well-
just taking an L, they just double down on shit.
I mean,
like,
for fuck's sakes, we're still stuck on the same Star Wars movie from
like
almost
fucking
10 years ago. So you know,
that
yeah.
one that one guy was like talking about like pre-funded books and stuff, and then like I kept being like, I sold plasma and I did this, that, and the other. Like, there's ways to do it, and
yeah.
all this other stuff. And then he suddenly like brought up some shenanigans about like Lolita comics or something.
Oh,
And I'm
yeah.
like, dude, just take the fucking L. Just say it like Doug said. Like, you know, just say, hey, you know, maybe that was a bad thing to say, because it was a bad thing to say. Like, a lot of people I know work really fucking hard and they put up their own money and everything.
I don't think that dude ever saw my reply. He follows me, but has me muted. So I went in and made it where he doesn't follow me now.
Yeah. Wow.
Him
but-
and the other one that's a know-it-all.
Like,
They were following me for years, but I know I was muted because I'd respond.
How could you just say something so absurd though? Like,
Because you're an idiot. That dude think he's one of these dudes that's always spouting off this nonsense. Thinks he's a super genius. It's just a bunch of, what's the word I'm looking for? Pretentious bullcrap.
Yeah.
Like his comic book is supposed to be pretentious. He can't just make a comic book. It's got to be European influenced and all this.
I mean, I make pretentious books, but hey, I don't try to push it in anyone's face. So.
Your books though there's a difference between being pretentious and creative and
Yeah.
just being a pretentious
True.
douche nozzle.
True.
yeah.
I mean, you're not copying anything. His is like,
Well-
I want it to look like it's European, so
It's definitely influence from
people will
other
think I
things,
sit down when I pee.
Yeah. He has a bidet instead of a flush. so-
I went with Carlos's art style because when I saw the examples that he had, his art style just kind of reminded me of, I don't know, it had that same feeling like a good, you know, low budget horror movie would have.
I like his art.
like
Yeah.
It's original.
it looked different and it looked unique, and I liked
liked it.
that. So
When I see his art, I don't go, that looks like a Marvel book.
yeah, that's one thing that a lot of these other guys didn't understand when I first picked Carlos, because you guys were pretty much fine with Carlos, but guys like Nasser and them were like, I don't like this art and stuff like that. But the thing about it is it's incredibly fucking unique. So anytime you see Otis, like, you know, oh, that's Skinny's comic, Otis. Like, you'll
Yeah.
know from just one page. Like, it's
That-
that fucking recognizable, and that's what I'm banking on. And it's also
You'll see one
different
page and
enough.
think,
If
this
you
guy had to be smoking a doobie.
And he
Yeah.
was. Yeah. It's like, yeah.
And if you line up like my comic with a bunch of other ones, like mine's really gonna stand out, and that's a
Yeah.
good thing. That's what
That's
you
what you
want.
want.
Yeah, that's the
Exactly.
thing.
And
right?
people
Like,
are acting like that's a bad thing. Like, no, you got to look like a fucking shitty '90s comic. Like, no,
Hey, this
no,
looks-
I don't.
This looks like Rob do it, except if he was.
I am looking
mentally
like a
incompetent.
90s comic, but mine's more like the Glenn Danzig comics, like Veronica and shit. So
Yeah.
suck a
Nah,
dick.
man, like 90s comics are okay. I like them. Obviously, used to read them and stuff, but it's not the end of like
I
comic
don't
art, right? Like,
understand how somebody could have the idea to create something and just want to regurgitate everything they've
because
already seen. Like
It's the
I
same thing with music,
like
Skinny.
it's
like
like a
I
nostalgia
understand
thing,
with
I guess,
like
but
putting references and stuff like that in your work because like a lot of things happened in Otis. Like Otis came from a lot of different sources. Like, you
sure,
know,
yeah.
Otis is a little bit like Ernest, and he's a little bit like Ash from Evil Dead. You know, there's a lot of different inspirations that led to him, but he's not necessarily a direct rip off of
No.
anything. Like, I didn't, you know, and it's just so weird, man. I
Yeah,
just
yeah.
don't get it.
I was commenting on something a few months ago, and all of a sudden, one of the higher up CG people just came at me all of a sudden. They're like, "This character is a ripoff of this one, this person I'd never even seen or heard of before." I'm like, "Okay." So your character's like a blatant ripoff of Witchblade. Like, there's not even any different.
I know who you're talking about.
Yeah.
Their
So what are
comic
you
is
talking about?
Their comic is Witchblade.
It is Witchblade. Like, there's no. It's just a different coloring. Like, I mean, come on now. Yeah. Like,
Like, honest to God, I don't even know what Otis is. Like, as a comic, where people are like, "Well, what's your comic about?" And I'm like, I'm
It's a
honestly
zombie
kind of
comic,
at a
yeah.
loss because I'm like, it's just the redneck and shenanigans ensue is
Yeah,
usually my
zombie redneck.
answer.
zombie redneck. Yeah, that's all.
But it's even hard for me to describe it because like I don't have this predisposition to like be like, oh well, you know, it's like the third season of Dexter, you know, like no, I don't know where the
No.
fuck it's going. I'm still writing it, but
No, you're just kind of having fun with it, which is a good thing. Like, it's a good method.
it's just a
right?
fun
So,
comic, man. It's
yeah.
just mindless fun, and
I do wish you would do the Asylum one though. That was a really interesting story.
I'm still working on that. It's just
Yeah.
this shit costs money, but you know, if you
Oh,
want
I
to
know,
throw
but-
some money at me to actually make that comic happen, I'd
Hey,
be more
hey,
than
I don't have
happy
any
to.
kicking around, but I'm
We
just
need
saying,
to
like,
invest in NFTs.
yes, that's what we need to. We need to make some NFTs, man.
There you go.
But yeah, I
That's what we
did
need
want
to
to
do.
do my Invisible Man story, like, but I'm still
Yeah.
tweaking it. I'm still working on the script. There's some things where I'm kind of looking back. I'm like, oh, that seemed a bit cringy, and this
I
kind of
did
doesn't make sense.
Invisible-
And
I did an Invisible Man story, but it started as Invisible Man and turned into something else. I don't know what happened to that script. I'd like to finish it.
Larry, would you like to co-write the Invisible Man thing with me? Maybe.
I can certainly like look it over and make some suggestions for sure. Yeah.
Larry, do you want to draw my Invisible Man story?
You don't want me to draw anything. It's like my style's not that good.
I don't know.
I can do it in MS Paint though. So
Maybe I need to draw
Yeah.
it. Maybe that's the problem. Is the reason why I haven't done anything.
I still
that
want to
one.
do a comic in MS Paint and try to crowdfund it. I really
You
do.
should.
I
Yeah.
really want. I want to do something kind of similar to that, but not on the
Yeah.
MS Paint level. But I want to letter a comic entirely in Comic Sans and
Well,
just
I
see
wanna
what
take-
happens.
My
Somebody put-
newest.
I was gonna say someone lettered a calendar completely in Comic Sans, so why not? You know.
That's funny.
Don't they
Um,
also have another calendar that's like still late?
Yep.
Yeah, the summertime one. It's for summertime.
No. It's still a 2023
Oh, is it?
calendar.
Okay.
Oh my god, man! Like,
I thought that
it's
was
a
last
fucking
year.
calendar. How do you like? I
Dude.
put together a calendar every year.
What I
I
need to
okay.
do,
Yeah.
I want to
I
put
saw a
together a
piece-
calendar and get like 12 different artists to draw like
Yeah.
Otis in these like Sports Illustrated swimsuit poses and
Yeah,
stuff,
yeah.
and then put that out.
no,
I'm
no,
not
but
even kidding
seriously.
with that one calendar with the swimsuits and whatnot.
yeah.
There's an X-Men comic that I have. It's an X-Men annual from '96.
Oh yeah. I had
They
that one.
took a page of that and copied it
and
exactly.
traced it. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I
know
just
exactly
don't
what you're talking
understand
about.
how you can be late on something so fucking simple.
I don't know either, man. Like I said, like I actually do a calendar every year for
Haha,
work.
doo doo.
Yeah, do. Yeah, I do a calendar every year for work, and we put it out like in September of that year for the following year, right?
Yeah,
Like, so,
because
yeah,
you know you
I
want
mean
it
it's
before
printed
the
and
year
ready
starts.
to go in September. Like
I
that's how you do it. Yeah,
I think maybe once I have enough sexy covers that Doug hates,
yeah.
um,
You'll do a calendar.
I might do like a pinup calendar.
I think I
That might
might
be
too.
pretty cool.
Actually, I think I've almost got enough covers to do one
I
now.
think I'm just going to take a bunch of pictures of myself in different poses and do a Doug calendar.
You should do it. Yeah.
You got to do it like the Farley thing where you still got like a little red bow tie
Yeah.
I'm not
and
saying
you
I'm
got
gonna
the
be-
cuffs.
I'm not saying I'm. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to stand there. It's going to be just me just standing there.
Yeah.
In a
and on every
picture.
page.
Next
yeah.
month you fold over and it's me. Like maybe the same pose.
It's
with
basically
different
like
clothes.
that one meme you see
Standing
of
there.
like fucking Pablo or whatever,
Yeah.
where he's like just sitting in random places, just
Yeah.
like you just see Doug just sitting by himself at the dinner table.
Yeah.
Doug
You know,
sitting
me
there
sitting at the
watching
bar.
TV.
Doug's life.
Doug fixing the
Yeah.
floor.
Year of the
Doug's
Doug.
life 365. Yeah, there we go. Oh man.
It's kind of weird, but because like I'm starting to understand that I need some better like photos of at least like myself as a creator and a writer and stuff like that. And that's kind of weird because I don't know, I've never been like that vain of a person. So it's like you look at my phone, it's like all kinds of pictures, landscape pictures and pictures of animals I come across and stuff like that, you know?
Mine's all pictures of Axel.
I feel like I need to hire like another Mexican to just follow me around and take good photo ops of me.
Yeah.
Be like, hey, this would be good to put on the Twitter.
Man, if you guys were closer, I mean, I've got all this professional camera equipment.
It's just an odd thing that now that I'm discovering that it might be a good idea to actually get some professional photos to like how like you know like when you open a book you'll see like a photo of the author and stuff like that with the synopsis.
Just take and use filters. Put black and white pictures in there.
Well, that's
Yeah.
the thing. What I'm getting at is I don't take a lot of pictures of myself because I'm
Take
not
one of your
like
butt
that.
and put it in your book.
I should do that. This one's for
Draw a
you, Ethan.
mustache on it.
This is part 2 of the Chocolate Starfish Wars.
Do you remember when that happened? Everyone was like outraged, and then the a dildo meme started. It was like, yeah, whatever. It's just memes, bro. It's like, yeah.
And then we got the
You know what's really funny?
daddy
Those were
rapes
probably
us all or
probably
whatever.
solicited photos.
Oh, definitely for sure. Yeah,
He's like, hey, send me pictures of your bunghole. And he's like, okay.
absolutely. And he's like, yeah, what's this?
Can you believe? Like his wife found him or something. So he had to act like
Yeah.
it was
Oh my God, look what he sent me. I was like, yeah.
I can't believe this guy sent me pictures of his butthole.
It's like, Ethan, I heard you could get me a job in Comicsgate. It's like,
Can I use you?
Pictures of your
That
butthole.
kind of makes me sad though that like Chris
Yeah.
was like trying to get this guy who is like trying to be CG and stuff, and you know he won't even respond about. That's the fucking perils of the fucking trademark shit, guys. You know we warned y'all.
uh-huh.
Nobody listened.
I need to put a trademark on my little logo and slap it on everything. This stream is now mine.
Well, I
see,
actually
my
asked
logo on it.
Chris to because he kind of did his like to where it looked like the old comic stamps or
Yeah.
whatever, the Comics Code Authority.
Yeah.
But I'm asking him, I'm going to get him to make me one. But instead of like the Comicsgate nonsense, it's just going to be like approved by my editors, and it's going to be like pictures of my cats.
So did he get blowback for that post, or like ban? Or
I'm not sure.
yeah,
I don't think
'cause I know
so.
he asked Ethan, but you know,
He
like,
said that Ethan just ignored him. So
of course he did. Yeah. So he's protecting his trademark really well so far. So
yeah,
you know, like yeah.
he's
Yeah.
neither denying nor approving use of it. I guess I don't know.
Like he has no idea what he's doing. Like
No, he
even
really
if he
doesn't.
did have the trademark, which he doesn't, he doesn't know how to protect a trademark. You know,
I think the
Uh,
whole thing is fucking silly.
it is stupid, but you know, at the same time,
Of all the crap to fight over, the name Comicsgate seems to be the stupidest.
it's not worth fighting over. That's for sure. But yeah, it's
I
a
didn't want the name to begin
garbage
with,
brand.
so
Yeah.
I'm
It's a
cool.
terrible name.
I prefer my name of Skinny's Comics. I think it's straight to the point.
Oh,
Well, I
there's
named
no-
mine after all the gravestones I sold in Lone Wolf.
There you go.
Is that the new logo where like the P
This is
is
the
like
old
a
one.
gravestone shape? Oh, okay.
This is the
I
old
really
one.
couldn't tell because your camera kind of goes out of focus when you get too close.
Well, some of it's my green screen too, where
Yeah.
it's chroma keyed.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, those are old. I just have a bunch of them because I got them made. It's like these are neat, and I never done anything with them.
Hmm.
These are from the first Lone Wolf, so these have been sitting here for like 2 years. I sold some at a little tiny con in Cookville.
See, these are rare.
Yeah, you keep sending me
Ultra
those. Every time I
rare.
get
Yeah.
something from you, I'm like, oh fuck, I got some
Just-
more of
just-
those damn Lone Wolf pins.
Just put it in a plastic case and it'll sell. Yeah, that's all. You need to put like a grade on it.
I need
Like
to
9.0.
everything.
He was like, yeah.
OOP
Yeah.
out of print.
Yeah.
Rare. Oop.
Oh,
I'm just telling you, it's this version of Psychotron that I sent out about to go out of print, and some of those books
What?
there's only 25 copies of.
why did Preston share your
Yeah,
campaign in CG drama? What? Okay, Preston. Whatever. Anyway,
Uh,
yeah, that's a good place to put Skinny's campaign. CG drama. Yeah,
Because it's successful.
I guess. Yeah,
successful.
I will put that there.
Well, guys, I'm gonna have to get off here.
Successful campaign.
I'm in here for like 2 hours.
I know, man. It's
I
good
gotta go.
stream.
I gotta go check.
We're
on
gonna go into CG
Mr.
levels here.
8 hours.
Yeah. It's 14-hour stream.
Where we just say stupid stuff, make
We
fun of
we,
it.
we could have streamed Snape Tyler's stream. He's live right now, so
Oh,
we could be like JDA and just stream other people's streams. And
Oh no,
comment on
I'm
it.
not gay.
I only stream Stop Skinnies, and when I do, he starts like yelling the F word.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm like, hey, look, Skinny's playing video game. And him and Miss Skinny both like, ah!
Yeah.
I'm surprised I'm still awake. Usually I come home after a long night of garden.
I'm glad you were able to hop
Yeah,
on,
man.
man. I really wasn't expecting that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't
haven't
know.
been
I'm
on-
just awake.
I don't usually get on streams very often either, so
I need to get back to streaming all the time because that's what I believe that's what hurt my sale of comic books was when I was
Maybe.
doing Lone Wolf, and even when I was doing other people's books, I streamed every day, and I was like comic books, and my streams were getting like 75 to 80 views, and now I'm getting like 30 at the most because I'm not very consistent anymore. Used to it was every day,
Yeah.
same time.
Yeah,
So I
I
need
just,
to get back to doing the same time every day.
That's the thing about YouTube. You got to be consistent. but-
that's kind of what I'm hoping
Yeah.
to do with like the I kind of believe to get like some consistency. Like I want to do something that's consistent, but I don't want it to necessarily be dependent on comic books because there's only so
Yeah.
much shit I can talk about as far as comic books. So I'd rather
see,
have
And that's where the
something-
drama comes from. Yeah.
Well, see, that's my thing. It's the
Yeah.
Doug show, so I talk
Yeah.
about whatever I want to.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
exactly.
it helps because I always throw a plug for a comic book.
That's kind of what I've been doing too, where I just label it like Skinny Smokes, or if I'm playing a
Yeah.
video game, it'll be like Skinny Plays, and then maybe I'll have the game, or if I'm like being indecisive that day, I won't even name the game. I'll be like Skinny Plays Stuff, and I'll play like one game. I'll be like, oh, I'm tired of this one. I want to play this one instead. And sometimes it does suck to stream because like when you like title it with the game that you're playing, it's hard to like. If you want to get tired of it and play something else.
Yeah, somebody clicks on it. He's not playing Fortnite.
He's not playing
Uh.
Pokemon. What? Yeah.
Gotta catch all 3 Pokemon.
The wife and I haven't streamed lately because she's had some stuff going on. She's doing all right though.
That's good.
I'll catch you and you catch me. Pokemon, gotta catch all
But
three Pokemon.
I think it is a good advantage to have a YouTube going, but I don't think it's a good idea to have it focused on drama or
One thing, yeah.
Yeah.
negativity would, yeah.
If you just pop in and you talk and you're a real person and people can connect with you on a level where you're not like, let's hate something, but you just show. I think
Like-
people like kind of.
Well, you'll build a
you know.
better audience if you go in and you're not always just shitting on stuff all the time.
See,
Like-
you know what makes me shut off videos now? Would
What's
be
that?
like I'd click on it. I'm like, okay, I'm interested in this topic, so I click on it, and they're like, but before we get to that, let's talk about our sponsor, Raid Shadow Legends. It's like, yeah,
See, I don't.
Like,
I
I'm
don't-
gonna start doing fake commercials on my streams.
I
Some
thought
guy
about
did
doing
one
that.
time.
Talking about
oh my god, it was funny, man. Yeah,
Well,
Baron
there's a-
started doing that. It was hilarious. Yeah,
there's a YouTuber I watch called Sleeper Dude, and
yeah.
he works on cars, and he always like just randomly if he does have sponsors, but
Okay.
sometimes he doesn't have one. He's like, today we're sponsored by Vienna sausages. Like open it and start eating one. That cracked me up.
Yeah, that's funny.
But I'm gonna say this now, and you guys need to hold me to it. If you see me and I ain't doing it, I'm gonna
Okay.
start streaming every day at noon again, like I used to.
Cool deal. I won't be
Alright.
around for it, but
Maybe try to get Macho Monday going back and Theo
Macho Man.
Thursday.
let's see. What time is it there for you now, Doug?
4:10.
Okay.
It's 6 p.m. here.
Yeah, I wouldn't
6,
be able
10
to make
PM.
it
Yeah.
most of the time. Sadly, I'll be at
Yeah.
work. But
What if I stream at 11?
no,
We just
still,
thought we just
Nah.
ended
I'd still
noon.
be at work.
I won't work till 5 p.m. here, so
Man, that's-
usually so
You guys need to quit your jobs and sit
I
around
know,
and watch
man.
me on YouTube.
we need to become full-time YouTubers. That's what we need to do.
Well, we
But,
just pretend like we know everything and just say a
Yes.
bunch of nonsense. If
So
you want to
my-
be a successful potato farmer, just go outside and throw potato on the ground.
But maybe if you're on a more open schedule, maybe you could come and
I'm gonna
come on
Yeah.
and do something else
I'm gonna tell you
with me. Maybe hop on I Kind of Believe once in a while.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah, if I'm
I-
not at work like it was last night.
Yeah,
But
Yeah.
hey, at work, I'm about to fix it where I might be able to stream at work. so.
Mecca's schedule seems a bit chaotic. That's the only thing that's kind of keeping us back from it.
yeah, he's got a weird schedule too.
And
You know
Mrs.
what?
Skinny has actually been really getting into it. I don't know if you've watched our streams.
I
No?
I haven't got to see the last couple.
I'm gonna change my name so that Mecca's not feeling out of it here. So yeah, we'll call ourselves.
Yeah. But I do need to go. I need to go check on Mr. Poopy.
Yeah, I'm
He's
about
been
to
outside
cut
for a
things
while.
out. I've been streaming for like 2.5
There we go.
hours.
No.
So
Maple McCheese. There we go.
Maple McCheese.
yeah.
but no, we've been having fun. Like she's been getting into it. So
So I'm gonna read the chat real quick before I go.
Yeah.
Metalhead says I need to start some streaming. If you're ever available during the middle of the day, holler at me. I need to start having more people on my show with me too. Dave says glad to hear Miss Skinny is doing okay. Dave said NordVPN. We can do ads for that.
Yeah.
The Japanese knives made in China. And
Scottish plots of land. Yeah.
yeah,
There we
there
go.
we go.
Yeah.
So people would be so stupid to think that we're actually
Skinny.
selling land.
I don't even know what this game is, man.
The Forsaken game.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I don't know anything about it either.
I know about it, but I just don't care. So, I was kind of interested when they announced it because they're
I
using
play Fallout.
This
using
is the
the
first
luminous-
I've heard about it, and it's
Uh,
just a bunch of people angry.
well,
I don't know. why
I
they're-
heard about it like 6 years ago when they started making it. So basically, it uses the Luminous engine, which was the engine that they
Larry, I
developed.
don't care.
I know.
I don't
okay.
want to know more about it. I like
Fine.
I like being ignorant.
It's not that bad. is what I'm trying to say.
Don't ruin
Yeah.
my ignorances. Don't
All
ruin my
right.
bliss, bro.
It's just a stupid game, man. That's all.
It's just a silly game.
Yeah.
But yeah. All right.
I think he's autistic about it. Sorry.